Okay, so once you guys are on the table, let me know, and then I will share this thing if I find it. Oh, I bet it's a story entry. Matter of fact, I might have already shared it.
Looks like you have it built out as a module.
Yeah, it's a story entry. I just can't remember what I called it. Guildhall, maybe?
Guildhall is what it says in the modules.
Yeah. Some of the things are public in the modules, like the magic shop and the brothel, and then I made this a thing so that we could all look at it, and then we could decide what we want to do. But you're talking about, yeah. So there's a story entry. Yeah, I'm so tired, you guys. Fuck. I'm not even hungover. You're right. There's a module which Urash built out with Lazy Tuner's help, and then there's a story entry that I created specific to the game, which is the location Guildhall HQ story entry that should be public for you guys to look at.
And that's what the link on the message of the day leads to? That's
No,
what I
the,
meant.
the link on the message of the day leads to the beginning portion of the actual module. But if you are you connected to the table fully?
Yes. I just didn't pick a character because I was reading through the message of the day
Right.
and I clicked off of it.
But I should have just shared a window with you. You should have the first group HQ. Did you get the window that I just shared?
I do have that. I thought I clicked and got that open, but you shared it to me. Okay.
Yeah, so that's the story entry, and then there's also a module in the library that's the full Guildhall module that has all the information that should be available to you to look at as well. And that's the thing that Urash and Lazy Sooner put together. Urash actually built the the Fantasy Grounds module and exported it as an actual thing that can be shared with people. Um, he took the PDF that the guy made from the DM's Guild and made it into a module for us. And then I made this blank story entry that just has the standard rooms for the 9 areas that are supposed to be part of any guild, and then we can add. Here, let me get the map. Hold on, let me get your map.
Jesus, I got 5 characters now instead of just 3.
You have 5.
Yeah. Well, I got Thibble, Spatula, and Skinny Mac are the 3 I play. Shazir the Small is still in there. And I got Paul's character, the Marklin, as well.
Oh yeah, but okay, so Shazir I need to erase. I thought I did that actually.
Well, you asked me about it yesterday. And
Yeah, but I could have swore I immediately went in and erased him, but maybe I did not do that, so I need to do that. Because the next time I go through and try to look at shit, it'll freak me out if there's too many. And I just have Marklin is actually not claimed, so that when he comes in, he can claim it. But it's just it's not claimed under your name, right? It doesn't say. So the one I'm erasing is Shazza the Small, right?
yes.
Okay. So, but the Marklin doesn't. It doesn't say Lazy Stooner on that, right? It just says blank.
None of them say Lazy Stooner next to it for me.
Oh, they don't. Okay, maybe that's only.
They all
Yeah,
just
that's.
say server character.
So those are not necessarily your characters. Those are the characters that are unclaimed on the table or yours. So that would mean that you have 3 plus the one that you imported for him.
Yeah.
Okay, so oh yeah, the map.
Hello?
Hello.
Good day.
Still room to join?
Yep, you can join. Tim, how are you?
Good.
You can join. We are currently, since we only have a couple people, we're currently establishing the, um, oh my God, all of a sudden I don't know how to talk. We're establishing the guild hall and what we're going to have for the rooms and everything for the, like the headquarters. So you can help us
Okay.
decide on that if you want.
Okay.
Because Lazy Stooner has to leave in about 45 minutes anyway, and we don't I think everyone's drunk. At least Americans are. All the Americans and Canadians are drunk from St. Patrick's Day.
Mm.
So I numbered the rooms on this particular map so that we could decide what we want to do with the areas that are going to be the ones that we don't have numbers for. So 1 through 9 should match the story entry of the. And Tim, let me know when you're on the table, and I'll get you caught up to what we're doing here.
Yeah, I'm currently seeing a lot of numbers, but I'm not seeing the picture yet.
Well, yeah, but I don't see your. I don't know when you're fully on the table unless you tell me, because you're not going to put a token up, right? Unless you do put one up, but. So. And Lazy, you know more about this than I do about the. I mean, I read through the Guildhall thing. I didn't fully read it word for word, but I looked through the whole thing, so I kind of have an idea. But you're probably more of an authority. You and Urash are probably more of an authority on it than I am. So you can kind of tell me what you think we should do. We have the 9 areas already established, and then we have 4 more areas we can add. And then, like, for example, we could, I mean, this is just the map we have, but we could build on or add on, but then, like, a stable's easy, because we could just say, oh, it's over here in this corner. We don't have to actually, show it.
Yeah,
Oh,
don't
I
have
can
to
build
actually
a
draw it
stable.
or anything.
But yeah, if August can add to it, then we can do that, or maybe even start
Yeah,
a
I'm
whole
looking at
new.
all these numbers and I'm thinking this furniture is all wrong. I got to go back in there and change it. So.
Yeah, and I just and I tried to make it like, oh, that place looks the most like the dining hall. Oh, this place looks the most like the sleeping court. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
I just threw it together real quick so we'd have at least a reference point. But if you
I
want to
like
go
it. And
back
then
and
actually,
and
now that I see what everything is going to be, I'm like, well, I can put different furniture in there instead of
and
just bitches
I'm
everywhere.
totally cool. I mean, I don't want you to do anything you don't want to do. It's totally voluntary on your part, so I'm not asking you to do even one thing at all. But if you want to, if it makes you feel better about it, you can totally just redo the whole fucking map. I don't give a shit what it looks like, as long as it's makes sense to us when we play. So you don't even have to have it be this shape or anything. You can make it whatever you want, because we'll just we'll just role play that you guys fixed the rambling shamblings and built it all up, and we have to go through how much this is going to cost us and stuff with like you guys spending gold to build it, and, and all this other stuff. I mean, there's no bank to take a loan from, so you probably had to hire workers or what. I don't know how we're going to do that with D&D, but we'll figure that out. But what I thought we would do is decide what areas we want to have in it, and then decide like how much players have to to donate to the kitty to build it and to maintain it, and yeah, I mean, all that stuff. You guys could just throw out some ideas and
Well, in the
and
UMS
let
guide,
me know.
under downtime activities, there's also a lot of that covered, I believe. About castles maintaining and building.
Yeah, and
I
but
don't
there's
know if this
also
that right.
we're doing a specific thing that has. Yeah, you weren't here yet, Tim, when I said this. If you go to your library and look in the modules, there's a Guildhall module, and you should be able to open that and look at it. Where you going to use those specific rules that are in that? Because it goes more into detail than the player's handbook does about the
Okay.
costs and all that stuff, and hiring crew, and what benefits you can get from having like an alchemy lab or an armory, or all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, okay. By the way, I don't remember playing a dwarf, Marklin, last time.
No, that's a character that belongs to another player, and your character you probably don't see because you signed onto the table with a different ID than you did last time.
Oh, or
You
well,
signed on with unknown G, whatever the hell that is, instead of
oh, that was from the
Yeah.
campaign we did with Kevin and such.
So if you're gonna continually sign on with that, I can go find your character and release it, and you can.
Yeah, let me just. I logged in as Jens Meischer, right? Last time.
Mm-hmm.
I just clicked something I used before, so let me just rejoin.
Okay. Yeah, and if you come back in as Jen Smeitzer,
I was like,
you'll find.
oh shit.
No, and the reason that character's there is because you know what I should do, because it's gonna just confuse the shit out of people, is I'm gonna claim it. Because
But for me, it was more the confusion because I wasn't
yeah,
used to
because
seeing it
as the
before.
player, it's just gonna show you. I was just explaining to Lazy Sooner. It shows you your characters as you signed in under your proper name, and then any unclaimed characters, and that was an unclaimed character.
Yeah, I couldn't remember my character's name anymore because it's been a while again. And then I saw that one, and I was pretty sure that wasn't the one.
Yeah, not the one.
Unless I'm too drunk, but I haven't drank yet, so. Yeah, I think this should go better with finding my character's name.
Okay, so so what do you guys think you want to do as far as adding other things to the headquarters besides what we have?
Well, I have 4 specific that would be convenient for us, right? Just wait. I gotta grab my binder here, get everything set up.
3-ring binder. I heard it click.
Yeah, like the alchemist laboratory, so we can get potions. Arcanist research room, it gives you a scroll. But the 2 that I'd say to start with, we would probably want to go for a tavern or a smithy, because both those can be run as a business and they have a chance of actually making the guild money instead of just costing us money constantly.
Where is this guild place, this thing? Is it in a city or?
No,
it's like across the river from a city.
Yeah, I guess
Okay,
yeah.
so it's
You've
close
only
by,
been
yeah.
you've only been to the you've only played one session, right, Tim? You've only been to the game one time.
Yeah, and we
Okay,
kind of
so
did one encounter, so I don't know much else.
okay, so I'll show you. Stand by.
I think I'm fully loaded now.
Okay. So I'm going to share a map with you. This is it's very simple, it's very basic, but it's the world as the players know it so far. So where the F token is, that's where the party is located, and they're at their headquarters. And the map says Cult of the Bad Eaters, and that's what it used to be, but it was destroyed, and the party took it over, and now it's the headquarters for the party.
Nice.
And so we're deciding what we're going to do with the headquarters. We're kind of establishing. And then in the library there's a module called Guildhall that you should be able to open it and look at it, and it's got like it literally has all the instructions on how to build this and whatever. And then in the story entries, you can find one called whatever the hell it's called. It's called Guildhall HQ location, and so that's where we're gonna type out like what the hell's going on. So Lazy, you think a tavern, and which other one?
Smithy.
Smithy.
Yeah, because in the Guildhall module, both of them can be ran as a business, and then it's just you roll a percentile die to see if they make money or cost extra money. Like they still have a monthly cost, but with the percentile die, they might cover their own monthly cost. They might cost you double, or they might actually make money for the guild.
By the way, just curious question. Is this place now currently having a bad reputation because of the previous owners?
I'm not. I mean, that hasn't even been mentioned, so the answer is probably no.
Okay, no, I'm just curious because it probably was something with bad eaters. I I don't know.
No, actually, well, just so you know, roleplay wise, I mean, roleplay, to be honest, isn't really a concentration in my games, but that they were good guys, and some of the members of the party are actually members of that cult, but that cult's been
Okay.
wiped out now. Yeah, they're gone. They're all dead. The part of the story was somebody came and ran and came to the group and said they're all gone, and passed out and like died in front of them, and then they came back here and found that this place was completely destroyed. And so they took it
Right.
over, but then they had to run away real fast, and they did some mission, and then we came back. It was inhabited by a stone giant and his minions, and then they killed them all, and then that's where we are now. So we
Anyway,
decided some of the players decided that they wanted to use the Guildhall rules by this David Dias, and so Urash made the module, and now we have the rules, and we're going to try to establish what's going on here.
Yeah, because the Guildhall is so much more simple than going full blown kingdoms. And once I get a better lockdown on that kingdoms module, it's still a pain in the ass. But once I do get a better idea of it, then it'll be easy transfer into the kingdoms module, no problem.
Right. Yeah, this is kind of baby steps. Yeah. Okay, so the construction cost is something we probably don't have to worry about because we didn't build it. It's, you guys found this thing and kind of took it over.
Yeah,
So,
see, for that,
so
I had a note put in saying we could skip that and just see what you want to charge us for repairing instead.
yeah, so I'm gonna start making notes in this, and I'll make the notes right inside this thing here, because this is kind of a story entry for everyone to look at. I don't think you guys can actually edit it, but you can see what's in it. So based on repair costs, what do you guys think? Because I mean, it's not like you guys are, like in real life, you take a loan from a bank, right? But this is going to be something where I don't know how I'll do it. I'll have to just keep. Oh man, this is going to be a nightmare. I don't think for me, just for my personal accounting, I think we're going to have to just make it where you guys found it somehow. I don't know. I mean, we're going to kind of have to fudge it, because what I'm thinking in my head, the reason I'm hesitating and stammering over my words is I'm thinking, oh well, I have to establish a cost that it costs you guys to repair this place, and then I have to go through all 25 characters and remove gold off their. I'm not going to go through all that, right?
Right.
So I think to make it easy, we're just going to say that you guys found it in the condition that it's in, and I mean, that's kind of fudging it a little bit story wise, but it makes it easier for me.
Yeah.
And then what we'll do is we'll establish what the costs are monthly and everything, and then each person, as they play the game, will have to pay their dues to join or whatever the hell it is. And if they don't join, they don't get the benefits, and if they do, they get a fair share of the profits and all this other kind of stuff. I mean, that's kind of what we're going to establish right now, is we got to figure out how to account for all this. And we also, in doing that, while we're setting it up, you guys have to keep in mind, from my perspective, it's got to be as easy as it can be as a DM. Like I can't have to have a spreadsheet that has all the players' names in it and have they paid their dues, have they not. We got to figure out a system where maybe they make a note on their character sheet, and just it's the honor system, and I say, have you paid your dues, and they say yes. I don't fucking know. You guys can help me with how to run that.
Yeah, I think
Wait,
just
what?
having a note would be good.
Okay, and so each member that's each player that's, quote, a member of the guild will receive their, we'll set it up to where, like, every month, every calendar month in the game, we'll do a distribution of wealth, or if it's the reverse, which hopefully shouldn't be the case, but like, how much did the businesses make? How much did it cost to run the place? And then repairs, and did you get attacked? And did somebody break in and steal the whole vault? Or, I mean, all that kind of shit. We'll just figure it out as we go. but there should be a way
Yeah.
to distribute gold to everybody, or to figure out who gets the potions from the, from the apothecary, or who gets the armor from the smithy, or whatever the hell it is. That's.
Yeah,
I mean, I just keep talking and talking and talking, and maybe I should shut up and let you guys talk, because the whole idea is for us to establish these things.
Well, as far as like if we start making potions, depending on how many get made and all that, I would say anyone who's paid their dues can, pick up potions as they need them. Obviously honor system again. You shouldn't be hoarding them or anything. But if someone hasn't paid their dues, I'd say they should have to pay, say, whatever 50% of what the store price would be, and then that can just go into the guild's bank afterwards.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a good idea. Okay. So we'll need to establish what dues are going to cost, what the membership fee itself is going to be.
Yeah. Like all that stuff. I did some of that math on the Google Docs that you sent, but that's not perfect, right?
Yeah, but we'll figure it out as we go. I mean, this whole game is an experiment, right? So.
Yes.
Okay, so repair costs, membership fee, dues, and then the other note was members get. Well, how would that work? So, if you're a member, you just get stuff free whenever it's made. Whoever needs it can pick it
Yeah,
up.
like
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, if it's available. But I'd also say like you have to come back to the Guildhall to get it, obviously, right? You can't
Yeah.
just be like,
Yeah.
oh
Of
look,
course.
the Guildhall has 6 potions. I'm in Nimble. I'm just gonna take 2 of them. Well, that's not. People still gotta be realistic about it.
Can guild halls also contain teleportation circles?
I mean, that could be something we could talk about. I mean, that doesn't just happen, but we can
I
make it.
know, but
Yeah, we
I'm
can
just
make it. Yeah, I
curious
mean,
if that could even work.
yeah. So anything. I mean, as far as role play, anything's possible, right? So we'll just have to talk about how
Yeah,
that
okay.
might happen. Yeah, we can.
Yeah,
Because
okay. Well,
so
we probably would have to find a wizard that could do that thing permanently, because it
yeah.
would
Now,
take a year.
just real quick, remind me. Teleportation circles. Can you? Are they? I've never encountered those in Dungeons and Dragons. I've never myself had that in any game I've ever played. But I'm imagining. I mean, you can tell from the name what it is. But are they gates where you go back and forth to one place and back, or is it like World of Warcraft where you can get summoned to a place and then that's it, or are they both?
No, it's usually you set up a different place where that's basically the receiver, and then the caster can just cast it anywhere his circle on his own. It's usually 1 minute to prepare that circle, and then he can teleport to any sigils he knows. So basically the receivers. So basically,
Okay, so each one are established. Yeah. So then, does the wizard himself has to cast it every time?
Well, the wizard usually casts the one that makes it able to go to that one. So he doesn't.
Okay.
But I believe they can make it permanent. But I have to read the spell again because
Okay,
I
so
think it was even
because
a spell.
it would be a problem if the wizard himself had to cast it, because then only when that player was in the game could it be used.
No,
But if
it
you
usually
can,
lasts a minute, and then everybody can step through that thing.
no,
And
no,
then,
no, no. But that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, for that 1 minute, you'd have to have that player present. In other words, the group itself would need that member of the party present to use it. Whereas if you can make one and hide it, hide it under a rock, or or whatever the fuck, then and members of the group would know where it is, then they could use it. So, but I don't really want to spend too much time talking about that right now, but we can absolutely work that in later on. And if you want to research how that's done, then we can put it in, when it's appropriate, we can add that.
Yeah, well, apparently it's you cast a spell on the same spot every day for 1 year, and then it
Oh
becomes
shit!
permanent.
Okay, well.
So that's the
Yeah,
reasonable
so
way.
that we need a dedicated wizard to do that. Okay, so you guys will have to hire a wizard who wants to hang out for a year.
But
Okay,
then any
so
wizard that knows that sigil of that circle could basically come to our place.
right, okay. So repair costs. Whoa! What just happened? Oh my God! Did I? Yes, I did. I typed something over. I didn't even notice I did it.
Yeah, for repair costs, I have written down 2,500 to 3,000 gold. I thought would be fair, because it costs in the Kingdoms module to build like a fort, which would basically be this place. It's 2,400 gold, and then the Guildhall module to have a Guildhall in a town, and I'd say we're close to a town, is 2,500. So I thought those numbers were pretty close to what would be average, I guess.
Okay, so well, yeah. So how are we going to account for repair costs? I mean, even if we establish that it's 2,500 gold, what does that mean? Do I have to go through everybody who's a current player and take away, 100 gold each from all 25 players? I mean, that's what I don't think I want to be able to. I don't think I want to get into having to make such a wide accounting, and me having to spend an hour and a half opening up everyone's character sheet and taking 100 gold. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to go
Yeah.
through that. So
Yeah.
we kind of have to put an asterisk by this, and my fingers in the air with quotes, and kind of fudge this a little bit, because we're going back and we're sort of retconning in history that we've already kind of done some of this stuff. And we're just gonna, again, I'm tripping over my words because I'm trying to communicate that we're just gonna fucking just do it and forget about the
Well,
specifics of it, and only care about specifics going forward, because that's the easiest way to do it.
well,
All
if I
right.
see the map, I already see some repairs happened. I mean, that the sea there is definitely repaired.
Right.
That
So we're
wasn't there
going to,
before.
yeah, we're just going to, I mean, we're going to say that the party got some people and hired some workers and fixed it all up, and it's already done, and that's all established. And how did that get paid for? I don't know. Fucking magic. That's good. You know what I'm saying?
The guild was a generous donator.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, okay, there you go. That's the story entry. When you guys came back to the castle the first time, you found all the cult's treasure and you used it to hire people to fix it. So there we go. That's how it happened.
Bang!
Perfect.
On the money.
And I sense that my voice is going out, so I'm gonna try to talk less and stop bullshitting. Okay, so we'll just try to say what I need to say. so repair costs we're not even gonna talk about. We're gonna talk about what does a player have to pay to become a member of the guild, and also what are the initial fee. It's like joining a gym, right? The initial fee and then the monthly dues. So what do you guys
Yeah.
think that should be?
I'm thinking initial fee should be, say, 50 gold, 50 or 100 gold. But it's not too hard. Like, a new player won't have that money, but really,
Right,
it
it's got
doesn't
to
take
be
very long
right.
to
I
get.
think 100 is good, because it's got to be tough that you can't join right when you start, but that
Yeah.
it can't be
And
too exorbitant. Yeah.
yeah, and then maybe say 10 gold a month or 20 gold a month for your monthly fee that just goes into the pot for buying better shit for the guild hall. Or for emergency money type of thing, I guess, too, if we ever needed it.
Okay. So I've got 100 to join, 25 a month, and we'll see how that works. We won't really know until we start getting a lot of people.
Yeah.
Does this guild have an intern sort of program?
Well, that's the thing. That's what we're going to talk about. You can hire. There's hirelings, right? So there's hirelings and there's specialized employees, and so we'll get into what we need. Like it says, the guild hall, the guild hall maintenance cost is 5 gold a day. Hirelings are 2 gold a day, and untrained hirelings. Or no, that's how many there are. Uh, a skilled hireling costs 2 gold a day, and an untrained one costs 2 silver a day.
Yeah.
So we'll just, what we'll do is break it all up into, monthly 30-day periods, and, um, again, I can't stress enough how the accounting has to be pretty straightforward and easy for me, because I'm not going to spend an hour every time we play going through and, oh, how much money owes, like, I'm not going to fucking do that.
Yeah. That's
So,
obvious.
yeah. So, so how many? Oh Jesus! Hold on.
How many
It's
houses
not.
lost?
Yeah, fucking. Now I'm getting a call. Just a second.
This layout, I mean, from which direction is the normal main entrance?
To the left where number 4 is.
Okay. And you want to make something that has a smithy that's publicly available?
Well,
Yeah.
but we're. I mean, I
We're not at
understand
that
your
point
concern.
yet.
Yeah, we're
I
gonna.
mean,
Yeah,
everybody has to walk
I
through
don't
the
want
whole
to.
Guildhall.
So Tim, I know you've asked me a few questions and I've done my best to answer them, but I don't want to get off track here. I want to try to stay focused. So any questions that you have about, well, what's going to happen if we do that? Try to hold those till the end, and I'll answer you. But I want to stay on focus here. We've already established that the map will probably be redone, so don't worry about shit like that.
Yeah. So the basic guild hall is 5 gold a day, right? So 150 gold for a month. Yes? Is that right? What's my math?
Yeah.
Yeah. And like that comes with 1 guard, basically. Like, it comes with the headmaster and the steward and servants and shit like that, but basically the only thing we're particularly concerned about is the guard, right? To keep it safe there.
Yeah, so the upkeep is 150 a month, and that includes the guard.
Yeah, the single guard, right? The basic guild hall comes with a headmaster, a single guard, a steward, and two servants. Like that's just what the standard is.
Okay. Does it say that in there? And I just didn't. Oh yeah, yeah. 2 skilled, 3 untrained, headmaster, guard, and 1 steward, and 2 servants. Okay, so right. Okay, I can just copy that. Let's see. It's necessary to have enough people to protect your property, to cook and clean everything. So the base number of hirelings are okay. Okay, fantastic. All right, so now that amount of people covers just the basic maintenance, and then we have to hire
More guards.
a master, yeah, way more guards probably, a master smith and a bartender or whatever, right? And then I mean,
Master Smith, and then the tavern needs 2 unskilled hirelings.
okay,
Yeah.
okay, so
So we need a master smith and basically 2 more servants. So the master smith would add 2 gold per day, so another 60 gold per month. And
okay, and the 2 servants would be
4 silver per day for 2 servants, so 120 silver. So what is that? Another 12 gold per month, I guess it'd be. So 210, like 225 gold per month we'd be up to right now, basically.
yeah, 222, yeah. Okay, so um now guards, how many guards are going to be 2 gold each, right, per day?
Yeah, and I'd figured we'd need 5 more, so 6 guards total, right?
Yeah.
Which would up us another 10 gold per day or another 300 gold, so that'd be 522 gold we'd be up to per month.
And the tavern doesn't need an innkeeper?
It specifically just says 2 unskilled servants or unskilled hirelings that cost 2 silver pieces per day to have to
Okay.
run the tavern. Yeah. assuming-
Okay, so
yeah.
63 to 300. Okay. Okay, cool. So and for the rest of the personnel that we either can use from the Guildhall module or that we make up in the future, we'll just add.
Right, because that can be stuff that's definitely going to have to wait.
Right. So
Shrine looks pretty
the
cool.
what's that?
The shrine looks pretty cool. You get an extra hit die.
What's up, bitches?
It's another one of those things that we'll have to upgrade in the future
Yeah.
of the Guildhall, though, right? Like right now, we're just doing the basics so it can function.
Okay, so
But it's not a
the
huge source
smithy
of.
the smithy can forge or has a forge and an anvil, and so it can be run as a business, but can it also? Well, yeah, I guess it's going to tell us what it can do. Extra hit die from the shrine. Stables can take care of mounts. Tavern. Ooh, a place for gossip and can also
Quests.
be Okay, so running a business. So there's roles to see how well it does or what happens and all that kind of shit. Okay, that's cool.
Yes.
And then,
And
but
that's
it
not-
doesn't. Yeah, there's no more specifics about it. I was hoping that there were going to be specifics.
Yeah, like if there's any bonuses for charisma or intelligence or something like there with
That's
leadership
in
roles or
the
something.
in the Kingdoms module there is for that, but we're not going that deep at this point. Next in the
Okay.
Kingdoms module, like this is getting way off track, but Kingdoms module, you need to have X amount of people in leadership roles, which give you benefits, and their benefits are based off the character who's doing its modifiers.
Right. Yeah, I was reading that.
And what part do you want it to be deeper about, Rob? Like how the business makes money or how it doesn't make money?
I guess I was when it said more about this later. Yeah, I was.
That was my experience too. More about this
Yeah,
later. Oh, there's
and
a
then
table.
there's a table. But like the smithy can do what? Can it make?
It doesn't specifically say
Yeah,
in the thing.
but also it says it can be run as a business, but it doesn't tell you how much money it makes.
When you roll, there's other ones here. The business covers its own maintenance cost for each of the days, and it earns profit of 1d6 times 5.
Oh, it does absolutely
GP.
say what it is. Okay, so
Yeah.
so the whatever they are, any business, the tavern or the smithy or any of them, all just roll on the same table.
Yeah.
And okay, so you just basically, if you have two businesses, you get two
2
chances.
rolls. Yeah.
Yeah. So why wouldn't you just make 7 taverns and then? But I guess you can't. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that wouldn't make any sense.
I'm trying to scam the system already. I'm trying to scam my own system to make the most money.
Well,
Owner's
if you have
game, man.
only
That's what we do.
if you only had taverns, they would compete against each other, and then you basically hurt yourself.
Yeah, and then there's too many bar fights, and oh my god.
You
Okay,
need
so
more guards to keep all the places running from all the.
okay, so the kitchen, and I thought we would maybe. I mean, I don't want to OP the game too much, but I thought it would be cool to have it be where if the party's at the guild, they can they can get certain benefits. So, I mean, I don't want to make it too video gamey. So maybe you guys can tell me we should just forget about this idea, but I'll throw it out there and tell me what you guys think of it. But like, if they ate a meal at the guild, they would get like an advantage on their next Constitution save or some kind of little small thing. I mean that now that I'm saying it out loud, I think I already want to squash my own idea because it would be a nightmare to fucking keep track of that shit. So just never mind I said anything about that.
Yeah, I'm in
Um,
agreement.
yeah,
Because we
okay.
also have the brothel if we need it, right?
Yeah,
if
there you
We
go.
have a
if we do want
brothel
to
in
go
this
that
one.
route, having one in the game is enough already.
Yeah, that the brothel, you can go get some sex and then
And
get the clam
get a
sandwich.
random effect.
Fucking
Get the
A.
random effect.
And
Yeah.
room lucky 13 is empty. We can always make a brothel.
There you go. There could be a brothel here too, but that attracts ne'er-do-wells, like you guys. All right.
Yeah.
So what should we do as far as? Oh, I know the armory and the vault. I think in the party sheet, we already had one item that we said. What was it?
There's a scroll of some
Oh,
sort.
the
that
scroll
only-
of spiritual weapon, right? So that can only be used by I think clerics and paladins or whatever. Or
Yeah, that is
so
just clerics.
yeah. So we'll put it in. We'll put it in the vault, and let me see if this even works.
That's interesting. Never mind. I don't want to get off
Let
track.
me see if you're reading and going, oh, we should do that. Let's see
Well, I
if this
was-
works.
Character stuff. So
Oh, snap. Oh, that's cool. Okay, so I can actually put the items themselves. Now, wait a minute. If I do that, can I reverse the process? No, I cannot.
Wait, what happened there for sound?
Well, yeah, it's not. Okay, so that's not going to work. I'm going to have to just actually type it.
All right, Rob, my game's open on Geos, so
You can
I'm
take
gonna-
off. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump out, but you can just message me anything. Like I'll still have Discord open if you need to have any questions that I.
Yeah,
can
okay. Sounds good. All right, so right now there is a scroll of spiritual weapon in the party sheet, or that nobody who was playing the day they got, all the players couldn't use it, so we're gonna bring it back to the guild and put it in the vault. That way, in the game, if you're, not playing and some treasure shows up that nobody can use, and next time you come back to the game, you can say, I want to check the treasure in the vault, and then if something's there you can use, you can just take it. That's kind of what we thought we would do.
All right.
Okay, so
you think we could also use it to bank items for our supplemental characters?
yeah, same thing. Yeah, exactly. In other words, it would be sort of a pool of,
Stuff
as
somebody
opposed
can't
to
use.
as opposed to the DM just tossing it or selling it for money out of the party sheet, we can put it in the guild, and then it's available for other people who can make use of it rather than just cashing it out or whatever. That's kind of the idea behind that.
Right on.
So that when you guys find treasure or anything, and it's like any D&D game, like a party of 5 guys shows up and they find the holy crossbow and nobody's a ranged character, and like, fuck, what a waste. This way it won't be a waste. The holy crossbow, I want that. Okay, so trophy room, bath, hirelings quarters, dining hall, sleeping quarters, common area. Okay, so those are all just sort of role play fluffy kind of things, but the tavern and the smithy are going to be businesses, so that's possible income, or not.
Wait, the Mastersmith costs 60 GP a month? Wow.
Yeah, because he's 2 gold a day.
So he most
And he
likely
can-
will cost more money than it usually brings up.
Yeah, we have to figure out what the smithy brings us besides the 60 gold piece debt, because
That's what I was trying to read. I mean, we don't have to go strictly by what this thing says, but the basic smithy features a forge, an anvil, and a full set of metalworking tools. He has a barrel of water in which metal can be cooled, the stone walls and some floors guard. Okay, so I'm going to say more about this in a future chapter. I wonder if the guy writing that was like, I'll flesh that out, and then he just made a table. I'm gonna say that this guy can, make stuff. So we'll not only will he roll, be on the table for the business part of it, but we'll say he can make like either a shield or a weapon per so long of a time or that kind of a thing.
Okay.
So he's probably not going to. I think it's probably too much to say that he's going to be able to do anything magic, but he can make regular stuff, right?
Maybe if we
So
put in an Arcanist later and
yeah, that'll be what, and then he can enchant stuff or whatever. But
make them both busy for a month to create an
right.
enchanted weapon.
So what do you think is
Yep.
a reasonable thing for this guy to be able to make? Like, can he make one weapon every day? Does it take him a week to make one? Like, what do you guys think?
Well, it more depends on how good of a quality you want to get. I mean, if you really want a weapon on the devil, then
Well, I'll tell you exactly what quality I want. I want this guy to be able to make weapons and shields that are the exact quality of what you get when you put one out of the player's handbook on your sheet. That's the quality I want.
I would say 4
not
or 5 days of
4 or 5 days
labor and
per
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
like a week.
so like in a 10-day he can make 2.
Yeah,
So he can
that
make
would
6 a month. Okay, so 6.
Does 5th edition have masterwork?
I don't.
Not, I
Well,
don't
I
think so.
don't think it calls that, but I mean, masterwork basically was a +1 weapon, but then non-magical.
Right. It was just crafted so well that it gave you +1.
But I don't think 5e doesn't really bother with that stuff. It's really the enchantment that gives it the +1.
Right on.
At least I haven't encountered a non-magical +1 weapon so far. And the tavern is also a good place because you can hear gossip. Ooh.
So, in order to make it fun, I think we'll say that the smithy can make any weapon or shield in the player's handbook, and that members can order them. And so say for example you're a first level character, you show up and you've got a mace and a light crossbow, but you're proficient with heavy crossbow, but you just don't have the money to buy it. Well, first of all, you'd have to have money to join the guild. But anyway, I'm just working shit out in my head out loud about this. But like members can order items the same way they can at magic shops.
like on
And
consignment or something.
well, they can tell the smithy, hey, next time I come back, can you have a longsword ready for me, or something like that. You know what I mean? That way, people can even though they can buy them in the player's handbook anyway when they get the money. This way, if you're a member of the guild, you can just have this guy make it for you if you want to wait the time and come back and get it. Right?
Right.
That could be a thing. So 6 items per month. So 6 items per month, PHB, non-magical weapons or shields. Members can order items for free.
Maybe we get a little bit of a added profit when we sell our stuff that we don't use back to the smithy because he doesn't mark it up as much.
Maybe it gives a bonus to run the business. I don't know.
Yeah, so so what would that be? So if you trade in a weapon,
like a 5% bonus to the price or something. I don't know.
it adds. Well, he's gonna make stuff for the guild members for free.
Right.
So if you give him a weapon, you get it. Like you don't get it more free. Like how would you?
Well, if this is also run as a business, it basically adds to his things he can sell. So it should improve the running a business part, right? Then?
Oh, I see what you're saying. So like when they roll on the table, he gets an extra bonus if you guys turn
Something
stuff
like that.
in. Yeah. Okay. So what is the basic mechanic?
I don't know. You roll
Percentile
one
dice.
D100.
Yeah, a character rolls percentile dice and adds the number of days spent on their downtime activity. Then compares the total to the running business table to determine what happens. If the character is required to pay a cost.
I think the running a business part is in the DMG because that's actually a downtime activity, so it might be somewhere in there.
Well, I'm specifically looking at this.
Yeah, but I think they're referring to the running a business in here because it's exactly called like that.
It's
At
all
least
pulled
I
off of
assume.
one PDF, and it's just a later part of the PDF.
Yeah.
It's actually a chapter. Chapter 8 is
It's
running.
chapter,
a business.
all the stuff we're not even looking in the player's handbook or the DMG for any of this stuff. It's all just in this build Guildhall module.
Oh yeah, okay.
Because that's what we're gonna use the Kingdoms module, which is also available in the library. You can look at it yourself; it's there. But that's way fucking complicated, and so we just decided to do the Guildhall to kind of work our way up to it. And you guys just happen to be the lucky two that are here today helping me do this, because it would have just been whoever was here. We don't play a game if there's only 2 or 3 people. Might do an encounter or something, but I had already said that we were going to do this anyway to Lazy Stooner. He knew that, but and I realized now you two guys didn't know, but this way you guys get to be involved. You guys get to make some decisions, so that's cool. So you roll on the table. It compares to the running of a business table to determine what happens. If the character is required to pay cost as a result of rolling on this table but fails to do so, the business begins to fail. For each unpaid debt incurred in this manner, the character takes a -10 penalty in subsequent rolls. Okay, so that's kind of for an individual thing, but yeah, we'll say if you guys turn in a weapon, for every weapon you turn in, it adds, 5 to the roll for that time. So let's write that down. Now, can that be broken? So if you guys find a cache of a dozen longswords and then just bring them back and give them to the smithy, that would add 60 to the roll. I mean, I guess that's okay, right? I mean, that's fine.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Okay, so every weapon turned in, we'll add +5 to the business table roll.
I don't know if there's anything like. I mean, I don't know how busy Farville is because that's the nearest by, right?
Yeah. Well, so what's your concern about how busy it is? What is the real question?
No, it's more like the traffic coming through here that's actually buying things. I mean, if you bring in a whole dozen of longswords, I mean,
well, yeah,
if
this
not
is.
enough people
I
come
mean,
in there.
So the way I kind of imagine it is, I mean, I know we're saying we're running businesses, but as far as traffic, I don't know how I'm going to account for that, and it's probably just going to be on a case-by-case basis. But the actual true matter of role playing in game is that this was a secluded thing that nobody, that was a private cult that nobody was in. Nobody came from it or to it unless they were cult members. So it's not an established place. And the only reason that the characters have it now is some unknown force came and wiped it out and then left. And then the characters took it over. So it's across the river. It's sort of in an isolated area at this point. So it's really not a good like strip mall foot traffic place. So people coming there would probably only be members of the cult or their guests or their friends or somebody that they told could go there. Give the password, they'll let you in, that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So we could probably hire out a stall in Farville and let
that probably
Smithy have access to the boat to get across and sell his wares in town.
Yeah, that could be part of it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's probably a better way of doing it. Yeah, because getting people over here.
Because I definitely want to role play it as far as like, well, there's some story that's happening in the background where people drop by and get some drinks or buy a weapon, and that all just happens in the background and we don't fuck with it. but I don't want to get into a half-hour discussion about how that exactly all takes place, because to me that's just boring and it doesn't affect the game, and only the players that are there that day are going to hear that story, and whatever. I mean, it's just a kind of in my mind, it's a time waster to actually role play that out
Yeah.
to its finest detail. It's suffice it to say it's just going to happen in the background. And any traffic that comes to the place, it just happens. Like, oh, well, people showed up. Okay, great. Did they fucking try to rob us? The guards took care of it. They killed the guards. The whole place is destroyed. Like, whatever happens. I'll be
Back to
rolling in the
business.
back to square one. We got to fucking build this whole thing up, and then I'm
Well,
gonna take it down.
Well,
We have
maybe
to
we're
do it
spreading the
together.
word as we're going around on adventures saying that our place is open for travelers or something.
Yeah, and that's part of what we can establish too. Is we can establish like how many, like, we'll roll on some table, like how many people showed up during the month to patronize, to ask about, can they buy weapons, or can they have a drink at the bar, like we'll that's what we should figure out. This is how we're gonna, what we're gonna do with all that.
Well, I imagine that any guild member that's actually not in the current game is just out somehow telling of this guild or something. I mean,
Yeah,
maybe should make some
yeah,
sort of.
yeah, because shit does happen in the background. I mean,
Yeah.
the only thing that doesn't happen basically is your characters that are not playing don't get XP. They don't just get XP for because shit's happening. Because it's assumed that if you're not in the game, you're doing some downtime activity that does not advance your character in any way. It's just because it would be, again, with currently 26 players in the game and assumedly a few hundred as we go along. I'm not going to go say, well, okay, every first of the month I'm going to go on everybody's character and add, so many XP per. I mean, just any of that accounting is fucking not going to be done. Here's another friend of
That's a
mine.
nightmare.
By the way, all my friends only call me when I'm gaming. They fucking, if I'm sitting at home doing nothing, watching TV, which by the way is hardly ever, but they don't call me then. They only want to call me when I'm gaming. And none of my friends in real life watch Twitch or know about Dungeons and Dragons. They all fucking they don't understand. Leave me the fuck alone when I'm doing this. But that
Yeah.
phone rings. Oh god! And you can tell I got a different ringtone for all my different friends or whatever. I have
Oh
like
wow.
I
You
have
actually
two
know
friends. You
who
guys.
is who.
I have two friends and then you guys. That's it. That's all I. And they both just called me. All right.
Oh, wow.
And I'm talking to you guys already. All right. So the smithy can make 6 items per month. Members can order items. It takes 2 days to make one, and every weapon turned in will add 5 to the business table roll at the end of the month. So what else?
What else? I mean, we basically have 2 spots left, right, in the whole guild for things, or because I see 13 numbers.
Yeah, but it was, I think what Lazy was saying was to add the tavern and the smithy, because
That's 11.
yeah, so it's more important not to pay attention to what the map looks like and to how many slots are on the map. I just did that as a reference to have something to start with. But what's more important is what we think we can safely establish, and then look at the costs, and then who's going to pay for that. And that's another thing we have to establish is there's only 2 of you players currently on the table, and I'm not going to add up all the costs and then charge just you 2 for it. That's not fair at all.
I
Yeah,
mean, I probably still have 10 GP, so
right.
good
So
with
it's
that.
got to be. We have to figure out a way. I think probably the best way to do it is we'll figure out what the monthly cost is. We'll start it on April 1st. We'll start saying that, or well, I mean, no, not. We shouldn't do it according to real life. We should do it according to. We'll start it on the 1st of Alterac, or whatever the next month on the calendar is in the game. Because it's not monthly time in real life, it's monthly time in the game, right? So every 30 days, expenses have to be paid at the end of the month. So basically, that's what we'll do. We'll start collecting membership fees, and then all of the profits and losses will be determined on the last day of the month, which will be in game time 34 more days. So that should be plenty of time to collect membership fees from people, and on and on and on. And then at the end of that month, we will run through the accounting and decide if the guild doesn't have enough money or has an abundance of money. And then if there's an abundance of money, you can, of course, start building and adding stuff. Does that sound like a winner of an idea?
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Okay.
I mean,
that way,
in running a
between
business, it's also mentioned something like adding -5 to the thing, so that the next time you roll on it, it actually gets worse.
yeah,
I
I
don't
mean,
know if that's also for
yeah, that's the kind of ideas I want you guys to help me with. So specifically, what do you mean? Like adding a -5 for what reason?
Well, no, I thought no, sorry, I was thinking of something else here. Never mind that
Okay, that's fine.
bridge.
So
I'm mixing things there.
So this gives us 34 days of game time to collect membership fees, and and then at the end of the next month, we'll take however much we have in the guild bank, pay the dues, pay all the fees, see where we are, and then that's how we'll do it. That way, any players that show up in the next 34 game days, which could be one session or it could be 500 sessions, we don't know, then that's how we'll establish it. And in the meantime, we'll say that the smithy can still do his stuff during that time. And if before that time the guild somehow amasses a bunch of money, or players donate a bunch of money from a big treasure they found or something like that, then we can add, even before the end of that month comes, we can add stuff to it, like the apothecary or the alchemist or whatever the hell else. We can just add stuff. So we kind of have to just establish what we're going to do today and then see how it goes. But worst case scenario, we pay for all the stuff at the end of the next month and then see what kind of money's there.
As far as a negative goes, I think it would make sense that if the smithy can make 6 items a month and all 6 go out to the guild, then he would have nothing to sell. So that would be a negative towards his profit thing, which can be offset by us trading in our weapons for that whatever you said +5.
Okay,
So
run through that one more time. Say that whole thing you just said again, because I blanked out for a second.
If he's able to produce 6 items a month and he gives them to us for free, so if we have 6 new characters that come or whatever that take all of his weapons that he has to sell for the month, then so like each one he gives us for free should be a negative to his profit margin.
Oh,
and then when we trade weapons back, it offsets whatever he gave us for free. So
yeah, that's a good idea. Okay, yeah, that's an excellent idea. So let me type that in.
It's hard to sell things you don't have.
right, yeah, because
some merchants can pull it off, but
if we've established he can only make 6 items in a month, and if he gives away 6 items, then he doesn't have anything to sell unless we trade out.
Right. So basically that's what it is. He gets his 30 points on the table, like the table says. So 6 times 5 is 30, right? So that works out perfectly. So he gets his 30. He gets his 30 base points. Then every weapon he gives away, if he gives any away during the month, that's -5, and if weapons are turned into him, that's +5. So basically each weapon is a 5 on the table, coming or going.
That makes sense.
And he gets his 30 base points because he can crank out 6 weapons a month. So that's perfect math. I love it. Fucking A, man. That was a great idea. Okay. Each weapon
Love
given.
when a plan comes together.
You love it when a plan comes together. Okay, so I'm just going to change how this works. 30 base table points. 5 points times 6 items per month.
Well, if I had my math right and see which numbers I'm seeing, it should be 522 GP each month for what I currently see.
I think that's right.
I missed something.
Every weapon turned in is a +5 bonus. Every weapon given to the party. Okay, so and I will, when we're not in the game, I will actually create a table. Rather than just text, I'll create a table that we can actually just click on it, roll, and see what we get. So it makes it easier and faster. I better make a note about that because it seems obvious that I wouldn't forget it, but yes, of course I'll forget. So
Oh, it didn't come with a table.
no,
For
oh, you know what? Actually, I will. Yeah, I'll just change the thing in the mod. Okay, so I still have to make a note. I can't even remember what the hell I was just talking about when I said it. Yeah, Urash didn't. I don't think he knew how to do it. I don't think he just knew how to make a table, so he just made it text.
Okay.
So I will change it. Okay, so I made a note for myself. Okay, so and then the tavern, you don't really. I mean, people can serviance. I don't know how to spell, you guys. The tavern is we'll just roll straight out on the table. Now, unless you guys can think of something. Sorry.
Just give something like gossips that you can hear from, so you can actually collect what the servants overheard.
The tavern just basically gives you an easy way to pull a one-shot out of your ass.
Because it gives great groups of stories. That's basically what it also said. So it's
Yeah.
actually a great thing for this sort of salvage encounters thing.
Right. That's good. And then, but as far as the business, there wouldn't probably be any adjustments to. We just roll on.
I mean, if we
roll
find
on the
certain
table and.
good drinks.
Yeah, other than what you
Yeah.
said about how many people are going to visit or not, that's the only thing that would affect the tavern's profit.
Right. And I never actually.
Ooh.
Hey!
We have a really good bard that performs
Accelerate
that night,
backwards.
which we also advertised. Maybe
Eight accelerate backwards. Thanks for the follow, man. I appreciate that. Just got a follower from Twitch watching this because I am broadcasting this. That's awesome.
likes
All
the
right.
details.
So yeah, somebody likes the details. That's great. So let's see. What I was gonna do real quick was actually read. I haven't actually read this table. You must pay 1.5 times your business maintenance. Okay. You must pay the full. Okay. You must pay half the business. The business covers its own maintenance. The business covers its own maintenance and earns a profit. Okay, so you only earn a profit if you get a 61 or higher. And you have 30 points to start with, so chances are pretty good. So, okay, so I get how that works. So, and then the most you're ever going to earn is 150 gold.
GP.
Right, it's not a huge source of profit. We make that usually by one trip between cities.
150.
But so the most the guild can make, if it maxed out its roll, it would be 150 gold times 2, which would be 300. So right now the guild can't even pay its costs, which makes sense. It's it's a starting business, right? So that totally makes sense. That if it's going to even if they rolled 30 on the 3d10 for both businesses, that would be 30 times 5 is 150, so 300 gold, and it costs 520 or whatever to keep it going. So there's no way the guild can be profitable in its first month anyway, because we have to add other things to it, which can be done either before then or at that time. So it would all be based on party treasure and what everybody was paying. Now the thing is, each person to join has to kick in 100 gold, so right away, and depending on how many members there are. Okay, so here, okay, I'm glad we talked this through, because now here's what we have to do. We have to figure out a way how the joining is easy. I just tell each player, whenever you want to join the guild, take off 100 gold pieces. I put it in the kitty, and they put a note on their sheet, guild member or something. That's easy. As
Right,
far as
like in the factions or something.
Yeah, or even yeah, that as a minimum. But also, I'm just wondering. I don't want people's names to be screwed up, but if we put like, before your name, you put a parentheses G or something. I don't know. We'll figure that out. But as a minimum, just so the character knows, and so I know if I need to go look, yeah, they'll put that in their faction on their character sheet so that it's at least accounted for somewhere. But the harder
Guild
part's going to be
tag.
huh?
Like a guild tag in an MMO.
Yeah, exactly. The harder part is going to be, and maybe I think what we'll do is an asterisk before your name. That's what we'll do. Asterisk before your name, because that will also reorder the order of people in the character thing. I think for me, so that'll be cool. Anyway,
Oh yeah.
that's not that big of a deal, but that's something we can do. But then the harder part's going to be, how do we keep track of dues? Because the dues are supposed to be per month, even if you're not playing, even if you're not in the game, you're gonna, if you're a member of the guild, you
Can
lose.
you?
Go
Sorry.
ahead.
Can you add a line to your attendance sheet?
I can, but that's what I mean. The attendance sheet itself is already fucking a nightmare. And as you may have noticed, you were here at the beginning, August. I was actually writing up verbiage about the stories, and like, hey, they went and did this and they fought this guy, and I was putting it in the calendar and putting links to the monster pictures and whatever. And I quit doing that about after the fourth time, when I realized I was spending fucking 2 hours a day doing that shit. And I was like, nope, not gonna do it. If
You're doing
somebody
a
else
post
wants
game
to,
write up or something.
yeah, a post game write up, and I had it in a Google Docs and with links to it and everything. It was all, I was super excited about doing it until I realized, wait a minute, I'm spending half my day doing this, and you know why am I doing that?
Right.
So, I mean, it's all on video. So if you want to know what happened, just go watch the fucking video. That's my attitude. So, what am I trying to say? So, but yeah,
So paying dues.
yeah, paying dues, how to account for that. As a matter of fact, let me make
Those
sure.
are
Maybe we
also
have
on
to.
monthly basis then, right? Hmm.
Yeah, monthly basis. So basically, or maybe we shouldn't make the dues monthly. Maybe we should make it something where, I mean, I want it to be like my first thought was, whenever every session you play, your character has to donate like 20 gold or something. But I want to make
Percentage of your
I
income.
want to make it fair.
You have to donate a percentage of your income from adventuring with the guild.
Oh, there you go. Okay, so there we go. So
Yeah, I think that would
to
be
be a
better.
guild
Yeah.
member, you have to pay 100 to join the guild, and you have to. Yeah. Okay. So here's what we do. I will have to keep a separate list, though. See, already I've got to keep a list of guild members, and here's why. Because the accounting is easy, because every time I dish out a party treasure sheet, I can just take 10% off and put it in the guild's money and then distribute the rest of the gold to the party, right? That's easy.
Right.
The hard thing's going to be when it comes to profit sharing. For your 10%, you're also going to share in the profits of the guild, right? So that's where the accounting becomes a nightmare, because how do you I mean, maybe you don't get money, you get benefits. So this is what I need your guys' help with.
Just curious, how do you keep track of people that has played? Do you keep any date when they
I
last played?
I don't keep the date. Well, yeah, I kind of do. So here's what I do. This is available to you. It's in the notes. If you go to the notes, you have access to this.
Okay.
It's called Players List. So here's every player in the game so far. It's their Discord name, their PCs. The DMX there is that I've checked their PC and that it's proper with the 27 point buy, and somebody hasn't brought some fucking character to the game that's way overpowered. And then over on the right side, every session that those players have played in is noted. And
Okay.
that's the best I've come up with so far. And just imagine, it's gonna fucking get crazy. We've played like 23 times. Today's gonna go down as like special guild establishment session or whatever. It's gonna be. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna put you guys in.
By the way, why do I have a C with me? What that means?
Okay, so you only played one time, and that was
Yeah.
the time that we only had like 2 or 3 players to start, and we did just an encounter, and then some more players showed up, and then we did an actual session, and that was the day that was episode 19. So you and Lazy Stooner, I think, were the only 2 people. Oh, and Urash. You, Lazy Stooner, and Urash played just one encounter, which was episode C, because episodes A and B had also been just 2 people playing, and I don't run the game unless there's 3 people or more.
Oh, okay.
And so so you were there for episode C and 19, which happened to be during the same game session.
Okay.
So that's what that
Oh
is.
wow, that's.
So
I
yeah,
was like, did I do 2?
yours is going to look like this now. So yours is going to have C19 and SP1,
Wow,
which is
I'm
special.
like, I'm I have a very weird serial code right now.
Yeah, SP1. And so I'm going to put on August and Lazy Sooner, I'm going to put SP1 as well. Oh, right. You can't copy inside
But-
tables. Oh, man.
Yeah.
You can't copy and paste inside tables because it puts brackets. What a fucking pain in the
Oh wow.
ass. Okay, and then Lazy Sooner. Okay, and then
But
the other
yeah.
thing I have is if you go to the notes and click on sessions, that is also.
Oh, you have the dates, yeah.
So if you go down to the way bottom, A and B, I don't remember what the dates were because I hadn't really kept track of it. But what? Yeah, February 254th was when you guys. That was February 25th, I believe. Yeah, February 25th was the day that we did that session C and then episode 19. So today is the 18th, and I'm gonna put SP1. I'm gonna put March 18th. And SP1 is special guild establishment. So that's just how I'm gonna note it. Because you guys are here helping me do that, and but I am, for those people that follow our game and that are interested, I am going to put this video on YouTube, and it's going to be part of the series. So
Okay.
because people will want to know, like, what the fuck, how did they get all this? What the hell are these rules they're using? Like, someone's going to watch in the future. Okay, guys, we were at the guild. Pay your dues. Here's your benefits. People are going to be like, what the fuck is this? So now they'll be able to,
Yeah.
Right.
So my idea for the dues, since you have a sort of way to track how long ago they last were seen at the guild, so once they enter or come to the door, they have to pay their past dues, basically. Which, I mean, you have something that can keep track of their last session, right?
Yeah, but it doesn't account for game time. So
Well, I don't
sometimes,
know. You
yeah,
have some sort of game time passing. I mean, you have a
well,
calendar in
yeah,
game,
if you
right? Or
yeah, there's a calendar. So if you go to the top right and click on the calendar link, it's there, and you can see where the notes are. You can see I stopped the notes after the 5th day of the thing. We're on the 27th day. But
yeah, okay. Well,
we
my idea was that basically they had to pay their dues when they came back to the guild house again, or something like that. And then each time a player rejoins, you could have make them roll for some sort of downtime activity that they still could make some money, I guess. Yeah, I
mm,
guess if you're not keeping track of time at all, it will just be bleh.
well, that's why we're having this discussion, because I need to find the best, the fairest, and the easiest way accounting wise for me to be able to keep track of this.
Yeah, well, I thought since if you had some sort of thing going where you kept time tracked and you know when players are actually at the session, you could roughly get.
Right, but it's not about what session they're at. It's about game time, right? Because
Yeah, I know.
we could play a game for 4 hours, and that could be 4 hours that could be 42 seconds of game time, or it
Oh
could be
yeah, yeah,
6 months of game time. So
yeah,
you know what
yeah,
I'm saying.
yeah.
So
Well, yeah.
so keeping track of when people show up or not is not important to
No,
the
no, no.
yeah. So how could let me just think about this a minute.
Well, I think just the percentage of treasure is the best way to do guild
Yeah,
fees.
yeah.
Yeah, so there is going to be. Oh, right, we already fucking. You guys got to, yeah. So one of the things about my personality, just me, Rob, is that my memory is shit. And if you say something to me, I'll forget it in 2 minutes if I don't write it down. So
Ooh.
yeah, it's bad. I have really super bad short-term memory. Now, in 4 years, I'll be able to give you the exact minute details of today's account, but between like a few minutes and the next
Ooh.
day or so, I can't remember. It's a weird thing in my brain. So I
Well,
try.
maybe
That's
you
why I
should
try to
just
take.
wait a bit and then to come back.
Yeah, just ask me in a year. So dues are going to be 10% of earnings.
Right, and that's the easy math.
So that's because I have the treasure sheet, I have the distribute, and that's so easy.
So just to, I mean, I don't know how much trouble it is, or how many. You usually have 6 players or something, or what is the average number of players you have during a game?
I would say average is 5, but we usually have between 4 and 6 most times. And I don't do the
Yeah.
story unless there's at least 3.
Yeah. Okay. So
If
that would
there's
mean
2 players only, or sometimes even 3, depending on what they want to do, I just run a bullshit encounter. Like, oh, they go for a walk and they run into just to get some XP and roll some dice. But the story usually doesn't take place unless there's a minimum of 3, but hopefully 4 people.
okay.
Because
Because if
you
you
want.
only have 4 and 6, you might not get enough to get your upkeep each time.
Well, that's the thing is every treasure parcel that's found by whoever finds it is going to pay it. 10% of it's going to go to the guild, right? Oh,
Yeah. Okay.
okay.
That's
So
the whole
now
thing then. Okay.
here's before I forget to say it. Let me say it now. There's a possible snag with this because if a member of the party is not a guild member, they do not have to give up 10% of their earnings. And so now I'm fucking doing all kinds of crazy math to figure out who's right. Fucking fuck that. So I think it's going to have to be a mandatory thing, and the guild will just accept. Like if a player shows up and it's their first day and they have 10 gold pieces, they obviously can't join the guild because they don't have enough money. But they can take out. They
Right.
can. Will allow people to owe it, right? All they have to do is owe it. They'll give up 10% of their earnings, plus they'll individually have to pay more until they make up their dues on the fee on the
Yeah, I was
membership.
just gonna say the same thing. They paid the 10% plus they pay like half of whatever they earn until they pay the whatever it is. What is it, 100 right now?
It's 100.
100 GP for a membership. That's a one-time fee then, right?
That's
Yeah,
one
and
time.
they
Yeah.
should probably be able to square that away in one day of plan and decide whether or not they want to be a guild member or keep playing or whatever.
Well,
Yeah.
one encounter wasn't enough for me to get 100 GP.
No,
No,
not
and
one
it-
encounter, but
Yeah, one. Yeah, but it should be tough. I mean, it should be. And the other thing is that is guild membership optional? I would think not, because
no, I don't
then
think
I'm
so.
fucking fucked, right? I mean, oh, you people are, you people aren't. But uh,
I
so
mean,
yeah,
kind
the
of
yes,
decide you want to join the guild, really.
yeah. So part of being the adventures of Salvage Encounters will be that you are part of this guild.
By the way, what's the guild even called? Is there even a name for
Well,
it?
you guys are here. What do you like? The group of all the players as a whole is called the first group, and that's just a name I came up with, sort of as a joke about the Star Wars movie, The First Order. And so I thought, well, what are we going to call the whole adventuring party? Because when I refer to it as I'm talking, I just call it the first group, so that just kind of stuck. But you guys can name the Guildhall if you want. What do you want to call it?
Maybe we should run
The second?
run a poll on Discord for all the people that play regularly to make it
Yeah,
fair.
that's a good idea. Right now, it's just called the Guildhall, Guildhall HQ. That's the name of it. But yeah, we can put a poll. Okay, so let me make another note.
Hey, for fun, we should just call it the second Guildhall.
Like open
Since
it
we
up
have the
for
first
ideas
group.
and then put the ideas in a poll and let people vote on the best one.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
off the top of my
that's
head,
what
I
we'll
ain't got
do.
shit.
Right, second Guildhall is confusing to me because what's
Well, and then third castle.
Yeah, I know, but then I know what you're doing. I mean, I get the pattern, and then next comes the Fourth Reich. I get it. I get the pattern, but it doesn't make sense. Although
Why
Fourth Reich, I
not?
do. Okay, so let me make a note. Discord.
Yeah, and
poll.
then Lazy Unit comes with the first guild. No, the second guild. Damn it.
You can put that in as one of the choices if you want to do that. I'll make a Discord in the Salvage Encounters chat. I'll put a we need some ideas for a poll of guild names, and then once we get them all, I'll make a poll.
We do forget this is the internet. It's going to be Gildy McGuildface or something.
Oh yeah, Gildy McGuildface, which hey man, if it gets the votes, whatever. The alternative is we think of one. So okay, so so everybody pays 10%, then they owe, so basically they owe their membership fee. You can owe the fee. So you can owe the fee. So basically what happens is all current players and any new players that show up, it's just established that you pay 10% of your earnings, which you're not even going to miss because I'm going to take it direct. I'm going to take it out of your check before you get it, right? So you're not going to miss it.
Fight of that shit.
And I'm going to FICA that right out of there. And then each person will owe 100 that's in the game. And then they can either pay it immediately, or if they're new players, they can pay it when they have it. And then it'll just be something. That's when you'll get your asterisks, is when you've paid it.
Right.
And that's how we'll do it. Asterisks upon.
Ooh, I like this one. Ruins of the Rich. Because this was once a ruin. And we're going to be rich.
You guys are all going to be super rich. Are you looking at the kingdoms?
No, that's just something I saw pass by.
Oh, okay. Okay, so what else? Let's see. Let's see if I'm gonna just make it easy for myself so when we add stuff or change stuff later. So it's 12 plus 60. Yeah, so it's 522 currently. And actually, maybe I'll make it even easier for myself by putting what it is. Because all that shit could change. So it seems that by the end of the first month, even if the businesses lose money and we pay the 522 for the fees, there's going to be way more than enough money just based on the fact that at least 6 players will join the guild and pay fully probably by that time, right?
Yeah, I think
So
so.
this thing should start making money. So I think, now that we've worked all this out, I think we could probably even add something else because there's going to be way more than enough money.
Yeah, we'll be able to expand at least by the
Yeah,
end of
so
the month.
we could probably even do it now because what we said we were going to do is start the expenses. Well, okay, so yeah, let's talk about that. How does a normal business work? Do you pay your bills at the end of the month, or do you pay them like the cable fucking company where they charge you before the fact? I've always
I think
wondered
it
why
says you.
the cable companies in particular, the television companies in America, I don't know if they do this, Tim, where you are, but in America, the television company, they charge you the fee before you get the service. And I don't know what the business minds are behind that, but I'm assuming what it is they are counting on people dying and then they've already got their money. I think that's what it is. I don't know.
They're used to people getting a month of service and then not paying for it.
That's true too. But your phone, they don't charge you for that up front, right? They charge you.
They don't charge you for your service, but they usually, if you don't have established history, they'll make you put a deposit down.
Oh, that is true too. Yeah, well they don't trust anybody. And probably you
Wasn't it
shouldn't.
usually on usage with the phones?
Well, in America, most of the phones are anymore now. They're just monthly fees. Like minutes don't even mean anything
True.
anymore. Yeah, minutes are fucking.
Yeah,
They
that's
don't even
true.
keep track of it. And what's funny is that just as a side note, I know that we're not here to talk about this today, but just if it's interesting to you guys, text messaging is 100% profit. It literally costs the phone companies nothing for text messaging, and they used to charge you per text and all that. Like I've worked for AT&T and T-Mobile. I've worked for a couple cell phone companies, so I know about how this shit goes. But it was amazing, and we would just sit there and laugh. Like they're making all the money that people are paying for text messages is just straight into the profit column of the company because it literally cost them nothing to do it. It's just crazy. It's like soda at a fast food restaurant. It costs them 2 cents to fill the glass, and they charge you $3. All right, enough of that. I'm not bitter or angry or lonely. All right. Oh my God, I'm streaming this. Okay. Send love to Rob Tui, care of Spokane. Okay. So we've got the expenses in there, and then I think what we'll do is we'll just have it be what we said. The expenses will be paid at the end of the month, and that's just when so every last day of the calendar in the game, on the 30th day of whatever month it is, I will take the money that's in the guild, subtract the expenses, and add the profit. And then we can decide how we want to if that starts to grow into a significant fund, we can, there's always building onto the guild, which is awesome. And then we can also decide like how that money gets spent, or what else can be done with it. Like hire a wizard to build the transport thing, or that kind of shit, right?
Right, right.
All right, what else can you guys think of that we should do here with this? Oh, yeah,
Well,
and as I said, one of the things you can say in your answer is we can add more shit. We can probably add one of these other library or shrine or one of these other things, because there's definitely going to be, now that I've gone through and looked at how much it's going to cost, there's going to be way more money than we need.
I don't know if you guys ever did much with it for jail needs or something. I mean,
The jail?
yeah,
Well,
it was also one of the possibilities, but I'm not sure if they
yeah.
actually needed it a lot.
The cell includes iron shackles on the wall and hay mattresses strewn about. I think he needs an N in there. I think it's supposed to be strewn. I'll change it. You can shackle up to 6 prisoners in a common cell. You're able to keep your prisoners under supervision for people you trust. So that we can have it. The benefit of it is you can leave your prisoners there for interrogation.
It's not that big.
That's way more of a role-playing thing than it is an actual benefit for, like, in other words, I don't see the, there's no other word for it. I don't see the positive aspect of it, or the benefit, if you will.
I was just wondering if it was
Yeah,
actually
no, that's okay.
usually
Yeah,
needed.
I'm just to make the point again, I'm focusing more on mechanics and less on roleplay for this game, only because I want players to be able to show up and think, oh, here's what I get if I'm a member of this guild. And it's not too exciting to any player to be able to say, okay, well, if we capture somebody, we can put them in the cell. Like, that doesn't really. I mean, it might be necessary someday. And when the guild gets to be so powerful and rich, we can just say, oh, let's add a jail and just fucking do it for no reason. That's pretty cool. But right now, I would think you guys would want to focus more on shit like the shrine that gives you an extra hit die, or other
the
shit we can
alchemist
make
and the
up, right?
arcanist, right?
Yeah, let me go and read those. The arcanist.
Is a scroll, and the alchemist is a potion, basically. Or as many as you decide per month.
Right. That's what you need. Holy shit.
Potions everybody can use, and scrolls are obviously, caster specific or whatever. Unless they're protection.
Otherwise, you can always put them on the stall to sell. I mean, if we have a stall,
yeah,
we can just add it there. I mean, if it's one of
a kiosk, a mall kiosk that's established in Farville.
Well, I mean, if the smithy is going out, he can maybe as well try to sell that one. I mean,
right? Yeah. The collected works of Guild 2E.
Yeah, there you go.
Like,
Guild 2E, I like it. It's already a good name.
Oh wow.
So a random potion, the dungeon master can decide the potion rate their players will have access to them. Okay. So, and he's got the actual potions in here. I would say that we would just be able to do any potion that's either common, rare, or uncommon, or very rare.
But that is
that's cool.
That's once, or
You've
how
already
many
got those
times
tables
is that?
out, right?
Sorry, you guys were both talking. I didn't get any of it. Now you guys are not going to say anything because you're going to wait for the other person. So Tim, what did you say?
So on which basis are these two? Are these monthly? Because I don't.
Oh
see
no, yeah, we're
on...
gonna have to. That's the thing we're gonna have to decide. So August, what did you say?
I said, and you already have the tables built out in your magic.
Already got them out. Yep, yeah. Totally, already got them. That's so cool. As a matter of fact, I can build this table, and where it says like 1 through 60 is common, I can just roll on the common potion table, and fucking it's all gonna be done for me. It's gonna be the greatest thing ever.
Right.
that's an exciting part of. I didn't even realize we were gonna get into that, but that's really cool that we can do that. So, yeah, what do you guys think as far as Tim's question? How often or how many per month can he make? Let's see what
Well, the
makes
alchemist
sense.
already says that it decides by the dungeon master on the
Right.
predictionaries.
So that's why I'm asking you guys what you think makes sense or is is common sense. Like how much could he? I don't know.
with magic scrolls it was something per level that it took that much time to actually make one. So
Well, let's look at that. That's in the Dungeon Master's Guide, right? Let's look at that.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, I thought per level it added an amount of time and such.
So if I go in the reference manual and look up magic making, what is that under?
That's a good question.
Inspiration tracking, social, background proficiency. Creating a spell. Oh, but I think that's if you want to make up your own spells.
Yeah, new spell, yeah.
Okay, let me try this again. Maybe I get lucky by looking at the.
I think it might even be in downtime activity somehow.
The Fantasy Grounds modules are harder to get through. The book is easier because it has an index. The Fantasy Grounds module does not have an index.
Well, yeah, I don't know if was it considered. Yeah, I think it actually might be crafting magic items because it's
crafting. I'll bet that's it. Crafting. Buying and selling magic.
Well, okay. Yeah, that's a bit before the crafting part in the.
Where is crafting? Is crafting? I don't see a section called crafting. What is it under?
It's more downtime activities.
Downtime.
Chapter. Wait, which chapter is this? This is chapter 6 between adventures in the DMG.
Okay, but I'm looking at the Fantasy Grounds one, so to tell me a page number or chapter doesn't help me. Carousing, crafting a magic item. Here we go.
There you go.
Magic items DM's purview. Yeah, well, I already knew that. Third level character could create a wand of magic missiles, an uncommon item, as long as the character has the spell slots and can cast magic missile. The same character could make a +1 weapon, another uncommon item, or particular spell. You can decide that certain items also require special materials or locations. For example, a character might need alchemist supplies. Okay. Oh, snap. Okay, here we go. Oh, okay, so crafting of magic items has a level associated with it as well as a cost. So, let's go back.
The item cost basically means how many days it will take because it's in 25 GP increments that they do it here.
Okay, so to create a rare scroll is going to take fucking, what's 5,000 divided by 25? So 50 times 4, 200 days? That's crazy.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's usually not considered easy, but yeah, I mean, if you find that magic is different, then you can always change it a bit, but...
Wait, that's an uncommon... Oh, it's 20 days, not 200. Okay, no, that makes more sense. That's for uncommon. Yeah, for uncommon. Oh, fuck, yeah. So it is 200 days for rare, and 2,000 days for very rare.
Yeah, wow. Well, legendary, I mean, that's pretty, yeah.
So we're probably going to have to change... So, yeah, so if you go by the DMG's rules, he can make a common one in 4 days, which totally makes sense, an uncommon one in 20 days, a rare one in 200 days, and see, now we're getting crazy, and then a very rare one 2,000 days. That's too long.
Yeah, well, that's long, yeah. But yeah, then again,
You know,
well,
it's
for scrolls they are
once
pretty
Maybe
long. Yeah.
maybe our guy isn't good enough to make rare and very rare ones.
yeah. Well,
Yeah,
here's
I mean,
what this is.
also,
You know, it's funny because we had a conversation yesterday. Like one of the players in a game that I'm in does, you know, with the chat heals and the chat participation, and he doesn't like it and he doesn't want any part of it. And so in the game that I'm in, where people heal the party, his character doesn't get healed. He feels it's too overpowered. And I said, "Oh, you know what? I totally agree with you, but it's also what engages the stream." And he was like, "Yeah, but I didn't sign up to play the game for the stream. I signed up because I wanted to play D&D. I don't give a shit about the stream, right?" So I get it. I totally. And this wasn't my game. This was a different game on a different channel that I'm a player in. But I am now reading this stuff in the Dungeon Master's Guide, and seeing how much fucking money and time it creates to create one scroll that does a lot of good shit. How we run our games is very overpowered. There's way too many magic. You know, like every time you guys kill something, someone in the party will say, "Is there treasure?" And I'll go, "Oh yeah, let me roll some random treasure." And there might be a magic item. And I'm forgetting that in Dungeons and Dragons, magic items should be fucking rare. Like they should never be there.
Well, it's
And
your discretion
yeah,
as
it's
the
my
DM.
discretion. And I'm sort of a little loose with it. The other thing that's so cool to me though is that if you played it the way that you're supposed to play it, according to the rules and according to the intent of the game, you would never see 80% of these magic items. And you could go from level 1 to 20 and never see any of these fucking things. You know, like
Right.
10% of them. And I think they're so cool that I want to, you know, I'm trying to jam them all into my game. But here we got like a 4th and 5th level characters walking around killing level 10 CR monsters, which is not good. But you know, as long as it's just like not stupid, not fun at all for people, and just way too easy, and that's what I'm trying to avoid. But maybe we're gonna fudge this a little bit. So to say that it's gonna take a guy 2,000 games of daytime, 2,000 days of game time to make a potion is, I'm just not gonna do that. So
just set fixed
yeah,
days.
I'm gonna set limits. So let's call.
Maybe
So here,
4 days for common sounds.
yeah,
I mean, it's not
four.
like
We're gonna call it 4, 10. We're gonna call it 4. Let's see, 4, then 10, then 25, and then wait.
You could round it out and make it 5, 10, 15, and 30. Double it each time.
Yeah, but I was trying to do more of a factor of 2 to like 2.5. So like
Oh,
4, then 10, then
Thought you were dividing it
25.
by days of the month or something.
No. So 4, 10, 25, and yeah, no, here's what we're going to do. 4, 10, 30, 60. That's what we'll do. No, 5, 10, 30, 60. Right? Because basically it's half a 10 day, a month, 2 months. That's what we're going to do. That'll make it easier.
Okay.
So let me write that down. First of all, let me add apothecary. What's up? Or I mean alchemist. Oh, this is very exciting. Everyone's going to be super excited when they find out about this, you guys. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on a second. No, I know what we're going to call the guild. I'm going to just make the name up now. Forget the poll. Here's what the guild's going to be called. We are going to... We are going to come up with an anagram that includes those 3 names that I've just put in the chat. And that's what we're going to call it. Because you guys are the ones that are basically doing the first day of establishing this stuff. Oh, wait, no, we got to put one more in. So we got to come up with, even if it's just LAGU, the Lagu Guild or whatever. I mean, you know what I mean? Because that does homage to you guys, the people that are doing the most work to create this.
Yeah, you almost
Hey,
can
you
spell my
go.
name.
Enchanting. Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
you did kind of put an M instead of an N.
Gen Smicer, that's what I meant. Yeah, I didn't kind of do it. I totally did it. You gal. you
Hey, you
gal.
gal, you want to buy?
You
Come with
gal.
you
The
gal.
You gal guild. Okay, so I love it. Do you love it, August?
It works, I guess.
Okay, fucking A, man. We're changing it right now.
It's good for the advertisement. I mean, if you do it on the street, you gal,
You
everybody
gal.
turns around.
Yeah. What'd you say to me? Oh no,
Me?
it's the name of our guild. Oh, okay, fine. All right, you gal, it's done. That was easy. That was the easiest thing we did. All right, so let me add the alchemist. I wanted Gem Smicer. I wanted you to have a bunch of jewels, so I made it Gem Smicer. Alchemist.
So where are my gems?
Right? Oh, that's
I'm not
personal.
seeing them yet. I can pay my membership then.
With your gems, how dare you? All right, let's see. The alchemist is okay. We'll create potions. And basically what we'll do is we'll roll on the table at the beginning. Well, every time he finishes a potion, we will roll on the table. And then it will take him that long to make that potion. That's how we'll do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll create potions. From the table. Okay, so 5 days. Common. Okay, so that's what we've established. Okay, so he'll create potions from the table. 5 days to create each of those. And then I'll add when he's when he creates one. Well, no, that's pretty self-explanatory. He can't be creating 2 at a time. So then when he finishes these potions, that'll just be a party member gets one. You know
Well,
what?
if it's something
Oh.
like the filter of love or something that nobody wants, maybe we can just sell it for whatever
Yeah.
It's the same like with the
for profit for the guild or something.
Okay, so yeah, we're gonna have to. I'm gonna now say that. Okay, so let's find out how much does this guy cost? Does it even say what his? Oh yeah, there's a table. Okay, so he needs. Okay, so the alchemist library. He needs a skilled hireling. That's it. Additional hirelings should be taken into account to calculate the monthly maintenance cost of your guild hall. Each room adds a benefit to your adventurous party. Okay, so
that's a funny side note with the alchemist. They believe magic without rules is worthless prospect and avoid sorcerers. That can be problematic if we have a scroll maker that's a sorcerer.
One of the names in Ugal is
Yeah.
primarily a sorcerer.
yeah, I'm thinking that this is gonna. We are definitely gonna have to change. He's gonna have to. In other words, what I'm hesitating or what I'm having struggles with is 60 days is a really long time. I mean, I think that takes
Especially
into
as we
account.
play.
Yeah, that takes into account a campaign where people are going from, levels 1 to 20, and it's taking 5-10 years in game time to get through all that. So 3 years to construct a, but in our game things move and happen pretty fast and whatever. So I'm just thinking if he rolls very rare on the table, he's only going to make one potion or one potion in 2 months. That's way too long, I think. So we're going to have to shorten those down. I'm going to change it to, I mean, I know I don't want to break the game, but so let's see. 2, add 3, add 5. Okay, let's try this again. 8. I don't know, 2, 4, 8, 16. Kind of the doubling it, that kind of a thing.
Sounds
Mhm.
good.
That
Use
way,
potions, right?
even if he's making a very rare potion, it's only going to take him. He could do two of those per month if he needed to.
Yeah, that's what I was
and
thinking with the 5, 10, 15, 30. So it's like you can
Yeah.
do.
So, but this is even less than that, because with so many players in the game, every session we have, people show up, and then maybe somebody gets a potion, and then nobody else gets a potion until 16 days goes by in the game. I mean, that's fucking crazy. So I mean, it was whatever I had it before, 60. That's way too much. So this will,
Yeah.
I mean, we can fudge it around later. If somebody says, hey, it might be better if we do this, we can talk about it. So
and
okay.
I also read it as not really a magical version, really, because it talks all about the how you call it, chemicals and those sorts of things. So it's not even a magical sort of thing.
Well, the next thing we're building is an Arcanist thing, and that's magical making scrolls. So
Yeah.
I know.
So this alchemist is going to have so one skilled hireling,
For stirring the pot.
which is, but also I guess the 700.
you'd
That
think it'd be like
I'm
a
I'm
master
assuming,
and an apprentice, like a skilled and
right.
a laborer.
So yeah, exactly. So I think that, oh, they don't have the, oh, I see what they're doing. They're saying he's skilled and then untrained. So skilled and skilled. So they're saying he's just by himself. I'm gonna say in order to crank these potions out as fast as they are, that he's got himself and 2 assistants, both, and everyone's skilled. So that's 3 skilled. That's what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
So that's gonna be
One collecting all the stuff he needs.
6 gold a day. So that's 180 a month. Right. He's got to have people. Okay. Okay, so he's 180, so let me go back up to the top and add 180. Okay, so that's 702 a month. And right? Okay. What's
That
that? What is
stretches
the
the
fuck
budget.
is it? Oh. I think MPNT is supposed to be month. What the fuck? Sometimes I'm typing and I'm not looking at what I'm typing at. I'm looking at the keyboard, and then I go back and I'm like, what the hell was that? All right, so because right away we're going to have enough money to pay for all this, and I'm assuming it will sustain itself based on 10% of treasure found going toward the guild. So the expenses for the guild should probably rarely be a problem. The only thing that would happen is if somebody showed up and just totally raped the whole place and killed all your guards and took everything, then you'd be in trouble. So I'm laughing because now I'm thinking, oh, I just by myself I can open up my table and start the video and record a session of me playing against myself and having somebody come attack the guild and the 6 guards fight the guys that are coming to attack it. And then I can just do, no, but you guys aren't even involved, and I just put it on YouTube and say, here's what happened at the guild. That'd be fun. All right, yeah, like I have time to do that. Shit. I didn't have time to sleep last night, but I did. So what
Wait.
about?
So
Go
you
ahead.
slept or you didn't?
I did. I didn't have time. I didn't have time to, but I did it anyway because health. And
Wow.
Mastersmith, Abbot, Librarian, Warden, Arcanist. So the Arcanist. Oh, this is the. No, this is the Alchemist. What the fuck? I don't even know how to spell. Okay, that was the Alchemist, and then there's the Arcanist, which is the scroll guy. So let's add him. And we'll do much the same way. As a matter of fact, we'll just do the exact same thing with the scrolls.
Yeah, if you get a foundation, might as well build with it.
Yeah. So let me go back and see what the debt's going to be on that. 500, okay. And again, we'll just because it's, I mean, there's no banks or anything, or at least I'm not going to make them. We'll just establish that when the profits start rolling in, we'll take them off these how much it costs to add these to the guild. Okay, so this guy, same thing is going to be. It's going to be the same thing as the other thing. Scrolls. Okay, so that's going to be the same cost. He's going to create scrolls. And that's going to also be 180. Okay, so just add that. 1800. What? I'm just looking at all the mistakes I made while I was typing.
I'm gonna AFK real quick.
Okay. Okay, so now we have 6 guards, the upkeep, we have the tavern, the smithy, the alchemist, and the arcanist. And that total is 882 gold pieces per month. And
Yeah, it's quite a bit.
that's quite a bit, but that's not going to be due until 34 more game days, and at least you'll already be ahead of the game because at least 9 players, I know for sure at least 9 players will pay their 100 gold right up front. Before that time gets there, and then plus you're adding to the kitty 10% of any treasure found during that time. So I'm thinking that it wouldn't even be a problem to get to that point by the end of the first month to pay the dues and to also pay the 1,200 in debt that's owed for the alchemist and the arcanist. I think
Okay.
it's probably no problem. All right, so I think that's pretty good. I think that's a good established the UGAL club. Fuck. That's awesome. Tim, you're a genius. All right, let's see. Is there anything else we think we might want to add to this? That's
Well,
probably good.
it wasn't really that hard. I mean, you just
Oh,
look it upside down, and you have it.
that's true. It
How
could
we
have been
typed it.
Lagu, but that's not as good, right?
No, this is nah,
And
I
any
didn't
type
want
of
it here.
Gual or Luag or whatever, that I like it the way it is. Okay, so
You gag would be a bit weird.
so anything else you think we might need in this thing? I think what I'll do is I'll kind of I don't know, I'll make a note in the Salvage Encounters chat and Discord that you guys can, when you log into the game, you can see this. Or no, I'll just put in the message of the day. That's what I'll do. So you can see this. All the people can look at it and see the what it is.
But by the way, when you roll for rarity on the scroll thing or something, does it automatically also tell you from which spell list it is then, or is that just a table thing you have
Yeah,
set
no,
up?
I'll show you. I wrote a module that is the that does magic shops. So I'll show you what I'm talking about. So like here is, do you see that table?
Yeah, spell scroll 4th
Yeah.
level, 5th
So
level.
that's the rare scrolls. So if I roll on a rare scroll table, it goes and it picks a random scroll level of either 4th, 5th level or the scroll of protection, one of those.
Okay, so we now would have a 5th.
Yeah, so you would know what it is, yeah.
Then you have another table for 5th level things or so.
Oh fuck. I made this magic shop module. It's literally got like a fucking 1,000 tables in it. Like that's not even
Okay, so
it's
yeah,
I mean
okay.
it took me well, if you go to the DM's Guild, I have all these modules, and the random monster table generator, which includes a whole another thing, which is just a random monster tables. It's a module within a module. That took me over 100 hours to make. The magic table one took me probably about that same time, because basically it allows you to roll per rarity any magic item that's in the game. So every fucking magic item that's in the Dungeon Masters Guild guide is on a table somewhere, and then it rolls on a table that rolls on another table. So it's insane. But I've already done all that work, so when we roll for the guild, all I have to do is click one button and it's fucking done, which is awesome.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got both of those. They're handy to have for sure.
So yeah, so we'll when it comes time at the end of the month or after not the end of the month, but after the whatever the scroll is that he's making, which we can do today. As a matter of fact, we can start right now. I can do the first scroll and the first potion and see what we get. Let's do it. Yeah, let's do it.
Big money, no whammies.
So I'll have you guys do it for the potion. I'll have August roll D100, and for the scroll, I'll have Jen Spicer roll D100, and we'll see what we get.
No table, just D100.
Yeah, just roll D100, and then I'll use the table, and then we'll see what we get. Okay. Oh snap! 95. So that's rare. That was Jen Spicer. That's a
Very rare. No,
scroll.
August.
That was August.
Oh, that was August. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I was looking at the previous thing. Okay. So August rolled a 95 for potions. So That is...
Rare then, right? Or...
Yep, that's rare. So rare potion. Okay, so let me go grab the rare potion table and I'll roll right now. And we'll mark the date and everything.
Ooh, missed very rare by 1. Look at that.
Oh, is it? Oh, I thought it was 91 plus, or is that the older one?
No, that's the other one. That's
Oh,
the expenses one. Okay, so potion
it.
rare. Potion of superior healing. Okay, that's a good start.
Good.
And 61 for the other one. Okay, so Dorcas, that's funny. So potion of healing, potion of superior healing, and 27. And let's see, that is a rare, so it's going to take 8 days. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3. So that's going to be ready on the 5th of Alteric, if that's how you say that.
No idea how you speak out those. Wait, midwinter isn't that long. It's just 1 day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it actually is just 1 day. Oh, you know what? We've got to account. Yeah, and those for gaming purposes. Oh man, yeah. No, never mind. It's gonna be ready on the 4th because we're gonna go through that day.
It goes. Oh, okay.
Because that day absolutely counts on the 4th. Jesus Christ. I cannot type today. Okay, so you rolled a 61, which is uncommon. So let me get the uncommon scroll table. So glad I did all this work already. Roll on that. And we get Scroll of Revivify. Holy shit, those are pretty good.
Yeah, that's good rolls, both
That's
of them.
pretty good. I think it's even on the druid list, right? Revivify? I don't know. Oh no, Revivify is just the cleric spell.
Okay, and Uncommon's only going to take 4 days. So that's going to be ready on the midday or whatever the fuck that is.
Oh, it's freezing then, I
midwinter.
guess. Is that the day when everything freezes over?
Yeah, midwinter day is literally when hell freezes over. Okay, cool. So we've got a Scroll of Revivify that'll be ready on that day. A Potion of Superior Healing that will be ready on that day. It's already kicking, fellas. Nobody's even paid any money yet.
So does that mean in 4 days the Arcanist rolls again, or is that all he makes for 1 month?
No, after he finishes. Let's see. I better make that more clear. Create potions from the table. Upon Okay, so then upon creation begins a new one. All right. So that's for both of the things. So yeah, so then on the 4th of Alterac, when the Potion of Spirit Healing is done, he'll roll again and start making another one. And same with the scroll. When he's done on Midwinter, he'll roll again and start making another one. So this way, he's making anywhere from less than 2 to 15 scrolls or potions per month.
Right on.
Right on. All right.
And these scrolls we don't find that useful. On the stall.
Yeah, and then if he makes one and nobody in the party can use it, it puts it in the vault. And then when somebody shows up that plays that kind of character, they've already got a good start with their, it's a thing. I like it. World building. Getting crazy. Okay. Anything else you guys can think of for this?
Yeah. Do you think we need a crest?
A crest?
Guild.
If you want to design a crest, I will and email me the picture. I will put it in the game. Because it's your guys' game. You can do kind of that kind of shit if you want, and I'll put it right in. You can make it so it always makes a common potion and rolls to see if you get a bonus better potion. Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Lazy Stooner's idea was. Oh well, yeah, I guess. So what he typed in the chat that he always makes a common item, but then roll to see if he gets a better one. But then that's kind of the same thing. You just roll to see if. Oh man, the wind and the rain outside. Yeah, you just roll on the table and it's pretty much you've only got a 5% chance of getting very rare, and 10% to get rare, and 15%, and then 60% to get common. So all right, so 882 a month. Everybody's got to pay 100 to get in, and potential profit on businesses. Oh yeah, I know. Let's see. So are the alchemist and arcanist also going to be businesses? That's the thing. I think that those
if
are.
they only make.
Yeah, I think they're dedicated. Right, I think they're dedicated. That's just for the party, like to make magic shit for them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, their output rate or production rate isn't that high, so it's very unlikely to be profitable in the long run.
Yeah.
I mean, if they make one potion each 4 days, that's not going to sell that well.
Right. So those aren't businesses. There's just.
At that rate, it won't be profitable anyway. So yeah.
Right. So on the. Yeah. Okay. So.
Unless there's a lot of help for them, which should reduce the times. Because that's also a thing. If more
I'm going to
people
change
help,
it.
Change.
I think with the money that is going to be, I think it makes more sense to do it on the 1st of the month. So instead of the end of the month. I don't know. We'll see what we get. Basically, what we have to do. I'll make that decision as we go. The only reason is if the next time we play and the next few times we play that how it goes, how much money we get into the kitty. So I kind of maybe need to put also like current, or well, I guess that would go in the vault, wouldn't it? Current. Let's see.
Well, yeah, I mean, quite some players probably would already have been members. So I don't know if they would actually have been able to pay.
Well, I mean, we're gonna, I'm gonna have. I mean, you guys can pay yours now if you want, but I'm gonna.
Well, I can't.
Oh yeah, you can't. Yeah. So you don't get your asterisks until you pay, but you can owe. So money and
I was promised some gems. Hey, stream, you heard it, right?
and
Do
then
you have a guild bank set up?
well, the vault is I'm there's no bank, but I'm saying that the armory or the vault is the same.
So
I
I can
mean,
put my 100 in right now, I guess.
yeah, okay, so let's do that. And you can put an asterisk before Tigran on your character sheet. And then
Okay, and you want me to just subtract the 100 myself?
Yep, just subtract it yourself, and I put it in the I put it in there. I put it in there. All right, so that's got 100 gold and 1 member. Yay!
First
By the
member of
way,
You're the first
Guildhall.
member. You're the first member. You're the
By the
first
way, how
member of the
much-
first group.
So 10 silver is 1 gold piece, right?
10 silver's 1 gold, yeah.
I'm never gonna make that.
So yeah, you only got like 44 gold. Oh wait,
Yeah.
300 copper. Yeah, so that's another
Yeah, well,
3. So
that's
40.
3. That's 3.
Yeah, so you're basically you only got about half.
halfway there.
But you're still level 1 too. Yeah, the other thing too, the other thing we need to do is I don't, I think the last time we played I did not do this, but we have to, maybe you guys can help me think this through. I only want characters when they play to be in the same tier. So in other words, if a new guy shows up,
1 through 4.
1 through
5
4,
10.
5 through 10, 11 through 16, right. But the problem is if I'm limiting everyone to 3 characters in the world,
Right, I've already got
they've
3.
got to try to not advance one of them.
You can only
Because
have 1 character per team.
well, no, not yeah, one there you go. That, oh my god, that's the fucking way to do it. You can only have 1 per tier.
Yeah, something like that.
But
So
then
makes sense.
when you
they
so when you go to 2nd tier, yeah, fuck, how would you do that? Okay, let's just think about this. So like say I'm a player and I'm like, okay, I start and I just got 1 guy, he's level 1. And I go up and I go to level 5. Okay, as soon as he gets to level 5, I got to start working on the other guy. Because or no I don't. No I don't. I can keep advancing that guy. But if somebody shows up and they're first level and they're playing, I've got to now make a first level guy because I got to have a tier. I got to have a, you know what I'm saying? I got to make a new character because I'm too high of a tier to use my regular guy, right? So now
Right,
I have 2 guys, level 2 and 3.
It's
Once
possible to have 3 tier 1 characters, but no other tier.
right, so the most you can have is 3 characters. The most you can have of tier 3 is 1, and tier 2 is 1. And then the day somebody gets to 17th level, we'll fucking handle that. Just add, you can have 4th character at that point.
Right.
But you've always got to have a character in. So let's see, what's the best way to say that in a sentence? You can only have 4 characters. No, because I don't want to get into the fourth one. So you can only have a tier 1, 2, or 3 character. No, wait. Okay, so here's the sentence. You can only have 3 characters, but only one of them per tier. How do you clean that sentence up?
You may possess 3 characters, but after the first tier, only 1 character per tier.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I guess I can't get it down to a sentence because you got to pretty much. I mean, you have to. Some people are like, "What now?" So you got to explain it to them. So basically, but the whole idea is that you can have 3 characters, but only. Okay, here it is. I think I got it. You can have 3 characters in the game, but you must be able to play all tiers.
That works.
There you go. You can have 3 characters in the game, but you must have a character ready to play in all 3 tier levels. So now let's take that through though. Let's say you've got your first guy and you build him up, and you don't need to worry about him. Your first guy is going to go all the way to the top, right? That's fine. So let's say you've got your second guy who's tier 1, and you bring him to tier 2. That's fine. Now you can start your third guy. But let's say you've got all 3 people, and all of a sudden, all 3 of your guys are tier 2 or above. Now what do you do?
Right, and now new people want to join, and we don't have
Right.
any.
So now you've got to either give up one of your guys, or I have to open a slot. So you can have 4 characters, right? And see, I don't. The whole thing about planning this out is I'm assuming that this game is going to go on for years and years and years. I'm going to have hundreds and hundreds of players, and I don't want to fucking have 500 characters on my table. Do you know what I mean? There's got to be a limit.
So can't you just do it that you have a whole load of bunch of pre-gens, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which you just can keep at level 1. That people that get over the limit just use that. If it gets to the level, because usually it will happen at the
Yeah,
level
but
1 stage.
it's not fair to have to restrict players that have been playing
that
forever. So a
that
new
kinda
guy
punishes.
shows up, so now everybody's got to be tier 1. So I've got my 16th level guy, I've got my 10th level guy, and I've got my 6th level guy. And now now I can't play because new guy shows up. I guess the real answer would be don't play that day, but that sucks too, right?
Yes. Well,
Uh,
then now you're talking about what if it's a new guy versus a subscriber, and you got to decide which guy you're going to
Well,
keep.
so here's the order that you do. Here's how that works.
Well, obviously sub first, but
Patreon's first,
yeah,
and
Patreon.
then barring that, new guy gets precedence over loyal guy, because you want to try to get you got to be nice to new people, right? Like you can't have somebody show up and go, oh well, sorry, you can't play. You can't. That's fucked up. So I mean, it's worked out so far, and having more than 6 players in a game is definitely a fucking nightmare for everybody. So you totally want to limit that.
Yeah.
But it might get to the point where we have salvage encounters tier 1 day, salvage encounters tier 2 day, salvage encounters tier 3 day. We might eventually get to that, which will make it way better for people.
Well, it
But
depends. I mean, if there's only certain days, some people can.
well,
but,
right. So that's why we're talking this out. That's why I need to try to find to establish it. I mean, so far we've gotten lucky. We haven't had to worry about it, but it's going to get there. I mean, I've seen the future.
To where people are competing for a slot, then that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
They're
So
standing in line to buy a ticket for Rob's stream to
right.
play.
He's
All
scalping
you
scalping in front of the screen.
all you got to do is
You just have to knock on the Guildhall guild door and you can get a ticket. The ticket stall is right outside.
So I'm going to take non-members have to pay because everybody's going to be a member. So I had a note in there: members get available items created, and non-members have to pay. But everybody's going to be a member. You don't have a choice. You're a member of the guild. It's like a union. You join Salvage Encounters. You're part of the union. You don't have a fucking choice. All right.
Booster
So
now.
let's see. Three characters, one per tier. No, not one per tier, but you must have one available per tier. Yeah, and then I guess we'll just figure, like, when we hit the wall, we'll figure it out. Or I'll just say that that's part of the, I'll put that in the message of the day. So it's an established thing. Everybody knows it. And then if somebody comes up with an idea on how to work that so it doesn't blow up, then we'll talk to them. Maybe not in the message of the day, but the rules on Discord or whatever. I'll figure out a place to put it. But that's the thing. That's the whole point, is you have to be ready to play any tier. And then if any of your characters advance beyond, like, if you have all three of your characters advance beyond first tier, we've got a problem. So we got to figure out how to work that.
Well, that only will become a real problem if a lot of new people just show up each day.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you're still going to hit that wall, but you only start a new character once your character hits the second tier.
No, I mean, if
That way
the
you're not
tier
playing.
is
you're
5
not-
levels, then it's a pretty big range.
Well, that's the thing, is if you have a second character, so okay, say you got your main guy and he goes to level 12, let's say, and you don't even have another guy. But somebody, now I need another guy. Okay, well, good. That's easy. You slot number 2, you start a new guy. Fantastic, level 1. And that would work, and then just never use that guy unless you have to use him. In other words, only play the tier 1 guy if you have to play him. In other words, your other guy's too high, right? That would work.
That's what I'm saying. Because
that would work until you needed a tier 2 guy. So basically, it's kind of like Adventurers League. You have to try to get a character in each tier and leave him there if you can.
Yeah, well, it's
But with
it
Adventurers
will always
League,
be a problem somewhere.
it's always going to be a
Depending on
problem.
who it's random people that join. That's
Yeah,
the main issue.
I
Really.
mean, I knew when I started this that this was going to be a fucking nightmare, but I did it anyway because I wanted to fucking do it and just see if it would work. And I always, I mean, at least twice during every time we play, I always mention the phrase, "Oh, this is just a big experiment." So if shit don't work, who gives a shit?
You're just being used for my
Yeah.
experiments.
you're a guinea pig. That's right. So I think if we leave it where you can only have 3 characters. Let's see. How do you explain this to people without having to sit them down for 5 minutes and fucking... You can have up to 3 characters. So basically, I think it's this. You can have up to 3 characters, but you should always have a first tier character available.
probably the simplest way to say it.
Because there's never going to be a problem where it's going to be a rare situation where a new guy shows up and everybody doesn't have a first tier character or an empty slot, right? That's
Right,
gonna, yeah. So in other words, when somebody gets to the point where they have 3 characters all tier 2 or above, that's going to be a long time from now, and I can worry about it then. But yeah, we
2
kind
other
of
level 1 characters, and if I played them all to where they're each about to level to 4 or whatever, and that would
5, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, 5.
and then just randomly draw a card from the deck of many things that drops your XP levels way below.
Yeah, that's
Fixed.
right. So here's what you do: you get your
The
character
guild
all the way up.
provides that card.
Fuck.
Free of charge.
Yeah. See, when I did this, I don't know what I was thinking, but I literally thought that this game would be where a couple, 3 or 4 or 5 people would show up, and then they wouldn't show up again for a month, and then different people would play every time. When in fact, I've got there's about 5 or 6, half a dozen of you guys that are always here, right? And then some people that
Right.
come sometimes. And there's only 26 players in the whole thing so far, and I've been doing it for. So I get an average of 1 new player per session, I guess, is about what it is. It doesn't work that way, but that's the averages. So 2 years from now, when I have 100 players, and only 6 can play during a time. I mean, it should be fine. I mean, I tried to work it so it would be fine. But I think if we say you can have 3 characters in the world, you always should have a first tier character ready. And then the day somebody has 3 characters, all 5th level or above, is when we'll worry about it. That's going to take a long time for that to happen. And then maybe I tell people, maybe I open. If somebody gets to level 17, then they I open a 4th slot for them. And if you have 3 characters on the table, all above tier 1, you have to decide which one you don't like. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do, you guys.
Maybe they suddenly contract a certain disease that
Well, but I
allow
don't
them
want to.
to
I
gain
don't want that
XP
to
and
be a. I don't want that to be a. I don't. Here's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to not fuck anybody. I don't want to make anybody upset that they're. First of all, when you play D&D, you should never
I'm
get
not
attached.
saying losing the
Yeah.
character. They just can't get XP anymore because of the DDC. They just stopped learning. They basically have to do whatever they do with.
That's actually a fucking brilliant idea.
So that once they
If
get
you
close
have,
to
Until your other
yeah,
character clears the tier or something.
until the other character clears the tier, your character can't go above level 4.
yeah, that's the curse of this world. Basically of the guild salvage encounters. Oh no, Guildhall.
That's brilliant. The Yugal curse, man.
Yep.
The curse of the world. Oh, this is brilliant. That's a really good idea. Wow. That makes it
basically is
easy.
a curse. It basically makes it sort of a curse. Like you can't get more things into different tiers except for level 1 or the first tier.
Yeah.
Then again,
So
maybe you should make an option for 4 characters then. Because
yeah,
then
I
you can
think it's going to have to
tiers.
be. That's absolute. That's absolutely what I'm going to have to do. I mean, I might as well do it now. I'm going to do it anyway, so I might as well do it now. You can have 4 characters.
Make it a new character now. No, just kidding.
Yeah, I make a new one straight away. 3 more.
So how would you let people decide what they're going to do? So you can have 4 characters, but you always need a character in every tier. So
Well, you know which tier
How
is,
about you
right?
can only make your 4th after your 3rd one clears tier 1? That makes it easier on you, right?
okay, so here's what you got to do. Yeah, okay, we got to work through this. You can have 4 characters, but you always have to have a character. Let's see. You can have 4 characters, but you always have to have a level of a first tier character. And I think you can't break that. So if you have your regular guy and you run him all the way up to 11th level or whatever, 12th, 13th, 14th, even 17th level, whatever, 20th level, you run him all the way up, your main guy. And that's all you have, right? But a new guy shows up. Okay, bam, that's okay. You start your 2nd character. So now you got 2. If if you've got your main guy and a tier 1 guy and 5 people show up with tier 2 characters, it doesn't matter because those 5 people all must have tier 1 characters. So then everybody would just drop down to their. Yeah, I don't think you can break that.
And
And so the
Does-
answer is you can have 4 characters, but you must have at all times you must have uh, you must have let's see, none of your characters can be above the tier of your lowest tier. I don't know fucking how to word it. I mean, I know what. Yeah, so okay, you start with tier 1. You can't make another character until you go to tier 2.
from today forward.
Right. From today forward. You can't make a second character until you clear tier 1. And then you can make a tier 1 character when you go. And then again, you can't make your third character until your first character clears let's see.
Tier 3, I guess, because then
Tier
your second one would have
tier-
to clear tier 2.
Yeah.
'Cause
Right. So
second one can't get
so
to tier 2.
yeah,
But usually the longer players are there, there's more likely a chance of those players to actually get to the second tier as well, because there will be older players that are more on second tier. So eventually it should. There
Well,
might always
Tigran
be.
just hit tier 2 on the last session, so he can't play with anybody lower than him.
Yeah, well, there's always exceptions, but usually the players that have played longer also have more characters.
But
right,
yeah,
but
Although-
that's what we're
Right.
trying to establish right now is the rule is starting
Like-
immediately. For the people that already have characters, not going to worry about it. Of course, they just have what they have.
Yeah.
But starting immediately, you have to have a tier. When you start, you obviously have a tier 1 character. That character cannot go
Past level 5, or what
Past-
is the tier?
No. When you start, the character that you start initially can go as far as it can go. It can go to 20th levels for all I care.
Yeah, I'm more like, what is
But
the one tier?
I'm trying to find a way to word it so that people understand. I mean, I think most people that play D&D understand, but new people won't get what the fuck we're talking about. They're like, what? You have to get a flow chart and then add and subtract 2, and then it's level 1 to 4. And if I have a 5th level guy, I gotta fucking call my mom and get the password. Like, they won't get it. So it's basically you have your first character or your main character, whatever you want to call it. That guy can be any level, but you have to, if needed, you have to start a second character so that you can play tier 1 with new people, and then your characters can't advance beyond. Oh fuck! I mean, I know in my head what it is and how it works. I just can't verbalize it. You know what I'm saying?
Characters can't advance behind the character in the next tier.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to write it out and then like post it and see if it makes sense and people can reword it. But I'm gonna have to type it out to, because I want it to be where someone who's never played D&D can understand what the hell is being talked about.
You only can make a new character when it's required for that tier. Well, for tier 1 actually, then. If you don't have one. I mean, it's pretty much that way, right?
Yeah, I mean it's that way anyway. But what I want to try to do is I want people to know that if they get to level 10 and they just have that character, and then they have their first tier character for in case new people show up, they can't advance the first character to the third tier unless they also already have a second tier character, right?
Just to be fair, is it really important to put this out straight away? I mean, by the time they get there, they've played like how many sessions? So that point should be come across by then.
No, but you can't assume that, Tim, because people are stupid.
Right, and somebody can have to say,
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
not under the impression that
generally,
I can have
actually, most gamers that are pretty smart people, and especially people that play D&D are smart. But generally speaking, people are stupid, and you have to fucking explain everything to them. And so I would like to have a thing where I can just put a paragraph and it explains what you have to go. Because the other thing as a DM is I don't want to answer the same question 55 times from 55 different people. I can just want to.
the thing I find the most that usually happens with games is that people don't read
Yeah.
rather
That's
than
true too. That's
so
true too. And and that is very disappointing to me. And I've had a lot of my players ask me, "Well, why do you do that?" And I'm like, "It's in the house rules." "Oh, yeah, I didn't read that." "Well, fuck you. You didn't read it."
well, I
I
didn't know
hate
they
that.
were there.
Yeah.
I suddenly saw it in notes like, oh shit, there's also the
Yeah,
thing
well,
I should have read.
the you know, like the some people sign on the table and they don't see the big red fucking note that flashes in your face. If you do not have a character yet, close the character selection window and talk with Rob. And then all of a sudden I see a blank character pop up there. And I'm saying, oh, you're making a character? Yeah, I'm going to make one. Okay, well, what about the note that you saw and that flashed in front of your face and on top of everything that you had to read before you could even oh, I didn't read that. You know, I almost want to say to that type of person, okay, well, it was nice having you on the table. Kick, ban, you know, like fuck you. I mean, I'm a nice guy, but I really can't stand it when people don't fucking do shit that they should do, you know.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
It's part of my PTSD actually.
Yeah, I got GTSD, which is gamers, you know, whatever. Post traumatic gaming syndrome. That's what I have. PTGS. I don't know. Yeah. So, I mean, I think you know, and I think the conversation that the three of us are having right now, that 15 people are listening to, I think we understand what we mean. It's just really hard to word that in a way that somebody who's never played Dungeons and Dragons before, or somebody who's never used Fantasy Grounds before, which is the whole idea, is to get new people to show up and have fun. It's hard to explain that to them unless they've been immersed into it. So I want to try. I'll just write it out and give it to people and say, read this and tell them, pretend you don't know anything, and see if that makes sense to you. So I'll just do that.
Yeah,
Because it's
And
got to
I
be
mean,
where established players who've been playing many times can have a character in each tier to play, and that they don't ever break that. So you can't have a third level character if you don't already have a second level character.
yeah, simply you must be able to play in all tiers if you
Yeah,
can do so. I mean, it's hard to make a higher tier one straight away then, so
right.
it's usually going the other way.
5e has mandatory retirement at 20, right?
Well,
What?
it's not mandatory retirement. It's just that you can't go above level 20. You can keep on playing it, but you know,
Eventually
There's
you'll
that.
die
first of
anyway
all,
of
I'm
age.
going to tell you something. I've played Dungeons and Dragons since 1981. I did not play second edition or third or 3.5, but I played D&D, AD&D, fourth edition, and fifth edition. I just had like a 20-year break in there. I have never played a character above like 14th or 15th level ever, and I've never DM'd a character that high. The people just simply don't last that long. So it would be really cool to see a character get up to 20 level, but that's going to be very rare. And even if they do, it's not like you just quit playing it. You can continue to play the character, but I mean, it's pretty much run its course, and I think it would be a much more fun to sort of put that character aside. And having done 20th level of Ranger, why don't you try to do 20th level of Cleric now, or something like that? You know what I mean? I think that would be. I think by the time you get to 20th level, you're going to be fucking sick of that guy, right?
We had
Well,
in
Critical Role is pretty far right now, 17th or something.
in second edition they had books called like Deities and Demigods where you can go fight like Hercules or some shit.
Yeah, and then that's always a possibility too. But the day that I have 5 20th level characters, oh fuck, I'll bring out Tiamat. Let's do this, bitch. Whatever it is,
Very good.
bring it. But yeah, the main thing that concerns me is that people be able to show up to the game at any time, and that whatever tier characters people have, we can keep everybody, all 6 people or however many are at the table, can all be in the same tier. And as a matter of fact, that is the rule. That's what we're gonna do. So people need to keep in mind when they make their characters that they, like if a guy says to me, "Okay, I'm gonna level up to level 11," then I'm gonna be like, "Okay, so you have a tier 2 character, right?" "No." "Okay, well you can't level this guy till you get a tier 2 guy."
You suddenly feel the
So you can
Yugal.
get the
He's
experience
top up.
and everything. You just have to level a guy into tier 2 before you can get your long rest or whatever.
Right, and before you get your long rest and level that guy, you can't play him anymore until you play the other guy up to level 5.
The
Mm,
character suddenly seems to have forgotten everything he
that kind
tried
of
to learn.
breaks your tier 2. Like I guess if you get your tier 2 guy to the end of level
Yeah,
10,
you should have. Yeah, exactly. If you get your main guy up to level 10, you then have to worry about getting another character to tier 2 because you can't take your first guy to tier 3 unless you have a guy in tier 2 to back him up.
yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah. That way when anybody shows up for the game, everybody has a character appropriate to play that day.
Yep. And any
And
XP basically
anybody,
gets
like
lost.
if a tier 3 guy shows up and there's no other tier 3 people, that doesn't matter because he's got a tier 2 and a tier 1, right?
Yeah, probably.
Right. He should.
Yeah. By then he should, yeah. I mean,
So
Or at
the
least a
easiest
tier
the
1.
easiest way to say it is you must always have a tier 1 character.
Right, and he couldn't leveled up to tier 3 until he had a layer tier 2. I see what you're saying.
Right. You must always have a tier 1 character, and you cannot have a tier 3 character unless you also have a tier 2 character. That pretty much is the way you word it. And then when somebody says, well, what about 4th tier? I'll say, yeah, when you get to 17th level, let me know.
So does that mean when you level up to level 5, you have to make a first level character?
You wouldn't have to make it. You wouldn't have to make one. You could make one, but you wouldn't have to make one because anybody that shows up new or anybody that needs a tier 1 character right away, bam, I got like 40 pre-gens. Right? Yeah. So that's not a problem. That can be handled in a matter of seconds. And I'm
5 still tier 1?
No, it's 1 through 4, 5 through 10, 11 through 16, 17 through 20.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't work out evenly. And the XP table's broken too. Like to go from 11th to 12th is not that far of a jump in XP like it is for the rest of them, but that's because most characters at level 11 don't really get anything. Like the tables that tell you what you get between 10, 11 and 12, it's all kind of wonky. So you proceed faster between 10 and 11, I think, because they want you to get to tier 3 faster. But I don't know what it is. But if you go look at the XP table, the pattern doesn't match. You're like, wait a minute, this doesn't seem like it's enough right here. If you look at the whole table, but you'll see what I mean. But yeah, so we'll do that. So you can't get a tier 3 character, and nobody has one now anyway. You can't go to tier 3 unless you have a second character at tier 2. That's pretty much that's what I'm going to say. That's the sentence is you can have 3 characters in the world. You can't have a tier 3 character unless you also have another tier 2 character. And to answer the question about what about 17th level, talk to me then. Actually, I can just make it. You know what? I'm not going to fuck with that. Talk to me then. I'll just make it 4 slots. You can't have a 3rd level 1 unless you have another 2. And you can't have a 4th unless you have a 3 and a 2. That's easy. All right. It's done. You guys still there?
Yeah, still here.
Yeah, right. But I really, you know what? I gotta tell you guys, I really appreciate. Everybody's drunk. St. Patrick's Day. Everybody's passed out. Nobody even knows there's D&D today. I really appreciate you guys showing up and helping me with this. It means a lot. And
Oh, it was St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, St.
Oh,
Patrick's
wait,
Day.
I'm from Holland. That's not there, so. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Holland has mayonnaise day. I don't know what they have. Hollandaise sauce. I don't get it. Just making shit up because I'm stupid. But you guys really helped to establish this, so and it's your game. I mean, I'm just the guy running it, but it's your game. It's your guys' thing. So you guys get to make up most of the shit in it, and if it's too crazy or anything, I'll pull it back. But you guys are the ones that are helping me do the rules and stuff, so that's cool. Super excited about the guild.
Yeah, I like it because it helps me with mine, and I don't have the guts to do it on air, so. Or in mid, like I don't have the guts to make it like the way you're doing. Like I have to plan it all out before I even let somebody into the door.
That's how you should do it. But my thing, I don't know if I can want to take the time to. I mean, I have enough games that I run where I'm like, oh my god, I have to read this section before I go this Friday or whatever the hell it is. Like
Well, I like the
my
way
curse my Curse of Strahd players went to a thing where somehow I didn't even read it in the book, and I was like, oh no, what, you know? But luckily, I could just read the page and do what I'm supposed to do.
I like the way it evolves organically using this method, but I just wouldn't have the patience to do it.
Yeah, well, the good thing is that uh, uh, when after I don't know, a year or 2 years or whatever it is, I can take all the shit that's happened and write it up into an actual module that people can play, like a sandbox module.
Yeah, right.
Go to the Thieves Guild and take out the mob boss and whatever else, whatever the fuck's happened in here. And so that's the hardest part. The hardest part, the easy part is actually playing it. The hardest part is coming up with shit places to send you guys, right? And so
Usually
like
things that happen on the fly.
yeah,
It's
well
probably the
random
hardest part to
encounters
even
are totally
adapt to.
easy, but like I have to come like I had to make the brothel and I had to make the the you go to the magic shop, that's great, you can buy magic shit, but then that guy sends you on a quest. Well, what fucking quest? I got to make that shit up in advance, right? And that I hate that. I do not like world creating. I don't like it, but it has to be done and it's something that I need to do. And I mean, the only reason I'm not the only reason I DM rather than just play all the time is because I can have control. And
You don't like not
I
to be in control?
no, I actually love to play, and I don't want to be the DM. But if I'm DM, I can force people to push to talk, and I can force people to, you know what I'm saying? Like I can,
It's just
I
that.
that's all it is. That's all it is. That's the only reason I want to DM is that if someone is fucking got that annoying beeping thing or has an open mic, I can fucking shut that shit down. And when I go play in different games, I'm constantly complaining to people that do we have to hear you coughing and sneezing and sniffing? Like, can't you change to push to talk? Oh no, I need my hands, I can't use push to talk. Like, fuck you know what I mean? Like I can't. But then I'm in these games for like a year where I'm with these players and I can't quit because I have to know what happens, I have to finish the story, right? Otherwise I just fucking be like, fuck you guys. And
Yeah,
Tim, you
no.
know that there was a game where I did quit.
Oh, that's yeah. I was very happy to quit it too.
Yeah, well, and
Dang,
yeah, I'm
that
very
was
happy you were
really
happy because you gave me
dang, man.
a great prize for convincing you to quit.
Well, the thing with that game was that the DM plus his friend, which was also one of the players, both were roughly on the same line of role playing,
Yeah,
and I was kind of playing with FC as well. So,
yeah,
and he was pretty new back then. So
yeah,
it was basically me against that player and the GM at some point about how to roleplay, since FC was just basically new.
yeah,
So I had really nothing to hold against because it usually was them
yeah.
both
Well,
picking
and
up the
I
point, and then it was
enjoy
me
I
being the weird
enjoy
one.
I enjoy FC. He's in a lot. He's in my games sometimes, and I enjoy him. And I didn't mind Kevin, but I did not like the way he ran the game. I didn't mind him as a personality, but the other guy that was in there, I had a little bit of a problem with just the way he,
Joshua,
yeah, Joshua, yeah, the way he spoke and other things. And I mean, I mean, you can't. I mean, I was a professional comedian. You up on stage doing jokes. I'm not going to please everybody. Somebody's not going to like it. Fucking whatever. I don't care. What can I do? I
do
can't do anything.
you remember that Unknown Moon game where I was that pirate-like sort of genasi?
Yeah,
I at some point basically was just since Joshua's character had just been paralyzed, and my character just thought he was just standing there doing nothing. So I kind of yelled at him, and he basically, out of character, yelled back like, "Stop doing that!" While I was doing it actually in character. So
Yeah, I remember. Yeah,
then
stop doing that. Yeah, and I was like, why
so
don't you stop doing? Yeah, I don't know.
yeah, what the heck, man?
That was one of the.
Make it
There were
characters.
many straws that broke the camel's back, but that was one of them.
Yeah, but my main thing was I got usually was the one getting blamed for the role playing part, and then he did that sort of things usually, and Kevin overlooked it and such.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it was just starting to get annoying to play that sort of game
right. That's
because it
why.
was me
That's
against
what.
them.
Yeah, and in a game like this, there's nothing I can do about like that's going to happen one day. Some player is going to show up that everybody hates. That's a troll or something. And I mean, I'll have to handle that as it comes. I mean, if there's somebody that just is disruptive or whatever, I'm gonna, they'll be out.
I had a fun game like that once.
Yeah, but I mean,
We
I'm
were
I'm
playing
just
a one shot, and
uh-huh.
one guy had made a character, and I basically, well, FC when he runs games, it's usually very loosely. So I already had some games run with the character. We just call it the one shot too far, since it started out as a one shot, but it went some further.
Yeah,
And then some new players came in, and one of them made a very weird character. And the first thing, when he was near my character in the first encounter, he basically tried to rob my character and then tried to throw me away afterwards. So yeah.
yeah, and that's one of the things. Like I tell people, that my games definitely include role playing. I mean, it's a fucking role playing game, for Christ's sake. That's the name of it. But it's not a concentration, because what I don't like is and I know there's people out there that enjoy this, and I know there's people that do it, but I'm not the DM if you want to show up and be the guy who constantly is a tankard of ale for all and press forward through the mountains. I mean, that's not the fucking kind of game I run, you know what I mean? I mean, we're here to roll dice and have fun, and yes, there will be a story, and yes, there will be role playing. But if you're here to fucking be combative and be the player who's gonna, I want to roll, he's gonna whisper me and say, hey GM, I want to make a stealth, I want to make a sleight of hand to rob my fellow party members of their, fuck you, and we're not doing that shit. You know what I mean? That's not role
Oh
playing.
well, we actually killed that guy as well
Yeah, good.
because
Yeah,
both of
just
us
kill him.
turned around and just killed him. I mean,
But I mean,
great
anybody who's watching right now or can hear my voice or is watching this on YouTube, just know that if you show up and troll my game, you're gonna fucking be dead and gone. So just don't do it.
or the players will turn on you.
Yeah, and that's fine
Exactly.
too, because I mean, basically there's two things I have on my Twitch channel, right? There's the games, or there's three things: games I play in, games I run, and then this Salvage Encounters. And Salvage Encounters is supposed to be an all-inclusive, everybody show up, have fun, play once, play a million times, whatever the fuck you want to do. I love it. Just come and have fun and learn stuff and learn about fancy grounds and roll some dice and kill some shit. But don't show up and be the fucking guy who tries to throw a wrench and fuck it all up. Like just don't do it. So then
Usually ends
that's
bad.
yeah, it ends bad. And I'm trying to also make it easy for everyone. So that's why we're talking about the tier rules. So if everybody, five guys show up and it's like, okay, we're ready to play, and okay, everybody get out your tier 2 guy. Great, let's do it. Oh wait, there's a new guy. Okay, no problem. Everybody's got a tier 1. Pull that guy out. To be easy and fun and not have to worry about it too much. And as long as you establish things up front for everybody, it makes it so that you don't have to spend 20 minutes explaining it to people. Just do
Yep,
it.
usually.
Yeah. And I'm
Always
actually,
have the old one out.
so the other thing I'm doing, you guys, is every time I have a spare half hour, which by the way never happens, but if I do, I go and I make another pre-gen. So if you go to the link of the pre-gens, there's like 39 of them, but there's a big list of red ones that have blanks next to them, and I'm gonna make all those so that eventually I'll have a pre-gen character for every race and every class, including not every permutation. I mean, there's literally probably tens of thousands if you mix them all up. But every race and every class and every subrace and every subclass at first level, where you get to pick your archetype at first level, they'll all be represented in some way. So if there's anything that you want to play in the game, I want to play an Azamar, or I want to play a life cleric, or whatever. It'll all fucking be on the list. I'm gonna have it. I've already made the list where it at least includes one example of every one of those. So eventually people will be able to show up. And it's also a pay what you want module in the DM's Guild. So anybody that wants any kind of character for Fantasy Grounds and they want to be able to start right now, they'll be able to just go download that, and it's already up with the current 39, and then every time I update it I just publish the new one. But that way it's free for everybody and everybody can have access to it, so that's cool.
Nice. I usually also make some bunch of level 1 things, so I at least have an idea of what I wanted to play, or
Right.
Freddy.
I have a campaign that I made called Character Creation Lab, where I just make min-max characters for multi-classes, for
I just
Awesome.
when I think of an idea, I just make something that fits that idea, and then yeah, that's basically it. I mean, I've still some ideas lying around that I never played yet, so someday it might come out of the workshop.
Someday.
One day. But yeah.
Oh, I guess Lazy was typing in the chat. I missed a couple of them. Okay, so let's see. I think we're probably done for today. We actually spent the whole 3-hour session doing this shit, so that's good. I'm glad we did it. And I'm gonna say I'm not going to put this on YouTube. Only because out of the 3 hours, there's only going to be 15 minutes of time that anybody's worth, and anybody that's watching the stream already knows what we're doing, and anybody that plays in the game will have the information afforded to them. So, but I don't think I'm going to put it on YouTube as a video because I don't think anybody would want to watch it. Boo. Okay, guys. Anything else you can think of, or anything we need to cover? If there is, if you think of something later, just PM me or email me or whatever, and we'll put it. But I think we did a great job slamming this together. And now when people show up for I'll clean it up so that when people show up to the game and they want to know what the guild is, they can just read through it. I'll make a document that explains it all and spells it out.
Yeah, basically the UGAL guidelines.
UGAL guidelines, yeah, exactly.
You get it at the front door, if you remember.
Yeah, here's the when you come to the door, I hand you the pamphlet. Here's the pamphlet. There you go. Read that. And then of course reading. And then if somebody's like, "Why did you take 10% of my gold?" I'll be like, "Oh, you haven't read it? Well, that's not my fault. Go read it."
It was in the guidelines.
It was in the guidelines.
Read it.
Because you agreed to your iTunes
contract
without signing.
Right. If somebody complains to me that they didn't know that, I'm just gonna say it's in your iTunes contract. Fuck, nobody's read that.
Never.
I'm almost sure that somewhere in there it says your firstborn child goes to the devil or something. And people just don't know. Because that thing's like 47 pages.
You ever watch South Park?
Yeah, oh yeah.
The human centipede.
I didn't.
Their iTunes.
Oh no, I didn't see that particular episode. Oh shit! I can only imagine. All right, so we have one guild member. Well, we have 2 members, but one of you owes money. Excellent. Actually we have 36 members. 26 members. I'm sorry, but yeah, everybody has to pay their dues.
No, I don't think I have reached the Guildhall once yet.
Well, you don't have enough gold to join.
I probably sat outside the doors camping the night. Couldn't enter. Guards bouncing me out. Nope.
You've got special initiation privileges for helping to set it up. You still have to pay your money, but you're allowed to come inside.
Maybe we should talk about some sort of intern sort of membership,
No, you're gonna pay. You're gonna pay. There's
I've
no
heard from Acquisition Incorporated that you have a really good or you never seen that.
I would gladly afford you a discount because of your helping to create it, but then we wouldn't have enough money, so you have to pay.
Oh, maybe I can persuade him.
That's your going puppet. I will gladly pay you tomorrow for a hamburger
Yeah.
today.
I'm very persuasive there.
Oh my god, that was a
really?
horrible roll.
Oh, come
Oh shit.
on.
All right, guys, I got to get going. It's past 2 o'clock for me, so I'm gonna shut her down. But thanks again for helping out, and hopefully this will be efforts well spent for gaming in the future. And hopefully,
And I apologize to everybody in front when I came up with you, Gall. But yeah,
nope,
you guys weren't there.
it's locked in, and everyone will know. People will be like, "What the hell does Ugal mean?" And I'll have to say, "It's Urash, Jen Smeiser, August, and Lazy Stooner." That's what it is. Those are the people.
If you don't like it, you should have been there.
Yeah, you should have been there. All right, guys, I will talk to you next time. Thanks.
Is it Monday or Tuesday or when's the next?
Let's see. What is today? Saturday.
Indeed.
Yeah. So Monday. Yep.
Cool. Right.
I've got Cobalt Con tomorrow, and then Monday Salvage Encounters. Monday at the regular time. Oh wait, what's this map I made as a reference? I just saw this thing.
Next weekend there is no salvage then, right?
As a point to see what we were looking at, and then you pulled your map up. I was like, oh, it's pretty close.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, Monday is for sure, and then Tuesday I think is. I have to look at the date.
Yeah, well, through the week is very unlikely that I could even join. So.
Yeah, Tuesday is also Salvage Encounters as well. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
So
but
Monday,
next
Tuesday,
weekend or
and
something
then
like
next
Saturday.
next Saturday is the 25th. Yeah, no, next Saturday is Salvage Encounters because today was the day that I was supposed to have my regular game, but he canceled it.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? I'll bet you that's another reason why people don't show up today is because they're thinking, oh, it's every 2 weeks on Saturdays. And so they,
That's possible.
yeah, they didn't think so. But you got to with me, you never know. You fucking just never know. And god damn it, if we're not playing Salvage Encounters, you should be watching the game I am playing, motherfuckers, right? So that's why nobody showed up today is because they don't think it's happening. But yeah, the guy that runs the Mr. Fells every other Saturday, he canceled it. So the next one's April 1st. So the next Saturday, the 25th, we will be having this. So yeah, next week's happening.
Well, that should be there then, I guess, because
All right,
C
cool.
also canceled his that week. So.
All right. Okay, guys, I'm out. Thanks.
All right, Rob. Later.
All right, later.